Little attachment.
Oh, around there. What is up, y'all? Hey, y'all are here at the Smoke Room 420. Y'all already know that means you're here at Mike and Juju Smoke Room. Hey guys, I'm your boy and your host, Mike.
I'm your co-host, Juju.
I'm Shad.
Alright guys, so as always, these lives are for entertainment purposes only. And we do not tell you it's a Biggers production or a Mike and Juju's production. That means we do not own the rights to it, y'all.
Exactly, facts.
Alright, as always, on top of that, big shout out to all our subscribers. Thank you. We're about to hit 800. Really appreciate you guys. It means a lot to us. Other than that, everybody watching later that couldn't make it to the live when this posts, thank you for watching. All of you, make sure and hit that like for us. Help us by sharing these lives and these videos. And if you haven't subbed up yet, what are you waiting on, guys? We're sitting right here waiting for you. All right. So today, our scheduled lives are Monday trivia, but as the creator of this channel, I am flipping script tonight, and I had a long list of conspiracies for last night's live that we're going to go over today and try to wake Shad up a little more. I need a lighter. Anybody watching later, hang with us. It usually takes a good 10-15 minutes for people to start coming on here and start responding and getting feedback from the you guys out there watching. So just hang out, be patient.
Usually we take a poll on who might be the
Who do you
first.
think's going to be the first person, Juju?
Exactly right. What I'm about to say. Scorpion, maybe.
Scorpion, nice. I'm going to say Dave. I'm going to say Dave.
What about your choice?
I'm gonna say
You're here, so
I'm gonna say
you're
I'm going.
Let him talk!
I'm gonna say Lion King.
Lion King's been working nights.
Yeah.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
He hasn't been on that much lately?
Yeah. Wait, it's Monday. He's off maybe on Mondays. He was on here last Monday
Okay.
on trivia night. Maybe.
Okay.
Might be a good guess.
Let's get he's working.
Should have seen him that night over here.
You probably come over here.
Yeah, he sat off to the side. That's all I gotta say.
Alright guys, so Juju, you're going to work the keyboard and the mouse. You want to trade sides? Would that help you? So you can use your right hand with the mouse? Are you good? You'd be really thrown off with me on the other side. But that'll be how we think it is, because it's always opposite. Shad, scoot up. More.
You sit on my It's like, no, you ain't getting my chair.
Yeah, that's what ain't gonna get.
We're being over here. Oh, man.
Would you run over? Oh. I thought you ran over something.
Alright. Scoot back a little now. What's up, y'all? Alright, now I'm on the side that I look like I'm normally on. Everything's backwards. Alright, so like I said tonight, we're not doing trivia, y'all. We are going to be doing conspiracies. We're going to dive a little bit into the world of conspiracies and maybe even some matrix glitches, parallel universes.
That one thing you talked about earlier about Stranger Things?
Glitches in the matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? What was that scientific word they was calling it though? That everybody was. What y'all calling it? I forget. I can't remember.
Mandela effect.
Mandela effects. Yeah. I've done a whole show on Mandela effects back when it was just me in the beginning.
I think I did that one with you too.
It was a pretty good one. All right, so first I have
This guy here.
who is
What's up, Dave?
Ah,
Oh, motherfucker.
told y'all Dave was gonna be
That's
first.
cool. What's up, Dave? How you doing today? Oh, it's nighttime.
All right, let's start with the conspiracy that Stevie Wonder is not blind. So go ahead and put in Stevie Wonder not blind clips.
That's like Ray Charles. And one thing about him too.
Doing good, Dave. We are diving into the world of conspiracies tonight. We're going to jump off of trivia tonight. Blind. Put in Stevie Wonder winks at.
How can you wink when you can't see?
Exactly.
Dude always got them glasses on.
How stupid is
Winks. Oh, I separated it so much. At. Was it Rihanna? Just put girl on stage. And you don't have the display up for the. Alright, bear with us, guys. I'm going to help Juju out real fast. Alright. Did you put it?
No.
about
Yeah.
Lionel Richie.
Here's one. Let's look at this one.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been spending my whole life with him thinking he can see.
Well, let us know out there.
You also challenged another great icon, not to a fight, but to a contest. And I want to make sure I have this right because I'm going to give you an opportunity to dispel a rumor here.
Okay.
Did you challenge Stevie Wonder to a basketball game?
I did. Okay, what y'all don't
You
know.
were going to dunk on Stevie?
What y'all don't know, Stevie can see. Stevie can see. It's just an act.
He can see.
Stevie can see.
They might want to kick me out, yeah.
Yeah, so
One of the great stories, for a couple of reasons in the book, is you let Stevie Wonder drive your snowmobile. Now, I would have to say, just the part of you owning a snowmobile would be enough.
I didn't own it. I was at the Caribou Ranch in Netherlands and I was recording.
Ah,
It was
okay.
thick snow and Stevie wanted to go out on a snowmobile.
And Stevie went behind the wheel
Yeah,
by himself.
by himself.
Stevie walks on stage, walks to me, looks me dead in my eye and says, Anthony, get me to a piano. I was like, Stevie, well, hell, if you just walked to me, you could have walked to the piano. He caught himself. He caught himself and had to play it off.
It's a true story. It's a true story. So
According to Shaq.
we lived in a building on Wilshire. So you park your car under the valet sign there. So I'm already in the building. I'm coming through the lobby. Door opens. It's Stevie Wonder. He comes in, says, "What's up, Shaq?" Presses the button. Oh, it's your story. Presses the button, gets off on the floor, bathtub, goes to his room. I went and called every person.
How do you say, what's up, Shaq?
I know, like, how can you see him?
What's up, Shaq?
I'm telling y'all, this is crazy.
There's
There's all kinds of stories like this, too.
Wow. Yes.
But yes, I did challenge him to
I wanna
one-
find the
one
winking
basketball
one.
for a charity
It's
event.
the newest one. But, y'all got the point. There's several famous people that had stories about him recognizing them. And, all right. Nicki Minaj rapping is actually Jay-Z sped up. You ever heard this? Minaj?
Mm-hmm.
M INAJ.
Singing.
Right?
Rapping.
Rapping. Jay-Z.
Is Jay-Z sped up? Is Jay-Z sped up? Quit looking to check it, just type it. It'll be close enough.
Here.
Sped up. He always talking shit to you. Get him, Chad. Get him. Simple directions. Alright, let's click on that. Jay-Z's voice sped up as Nicki Minaj. Try to click on it. Come on, Juju. Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Let's
I'm
get
getting
funny
there.
now. Alright, go ahead and enlarge it.
We're gonna skate to one song only. So I'm so high, motherfuckers wanna find me. First thing you gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Fall so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that don't shit phase. And next we go, I'm 82 and I look at you like this shit crazy. Fall so hard, this shit weird. We ain't need to be here.
You kinda hear the tone, yeah.
It's only right that we be fair. Fall so hard, this shit weird. We ain't need to be here. Fall so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm liable to go Michael. Take your pick. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Gang 6.
What y'all think? Chad?
I don't know. I hear.
Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
I could hear her tone like they said, but
Yeah, I couldn't hear any.
I mean, it wouldn't take but a few little adjustments to change that, though. That's what he's saying. She almost always performs with a track.
What's that mean? That she's lip singing or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, what about... Y'all ever heard the conspiracy about Paul McCartney?
No.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Put in Paul McCartney is dead. Anybody out there ever heard the, they say if you've seen the Abbey Road,
Mm-hmm.
so they say a guy replaced him. This guy from America that looks a lot like him and learned his accent when he died in a car crash. But Abbey Road came out, the next album, and Paul McCartney's the only one without shoes on. And then the way they're dressed differently, one's dressed like a pallbearer, one's dressed like a nice suit, and then one's like the person mourning all black.
They show. Go back up with that picture up there.
There's it.
Is that Abbey Road?
Yeah.
Is that
Go right here.
There it is.
You're gonna enlarge it. Yeah. They say if you rewind
In the annals of
certain
rock and roll
songs,
lore,
it talks
the
about it after that
tale-smashing,
too. They'll say
eerie and
like
enduring enigma of the
Paul is
dead
dead
conspiracy.
or he is dead.
It's a story
and
that's
stuff like
persisted
that.
for over half a century, woven into the fabric of one of the most iconic bands in
Now I
history,
get in
the
subliminal.
Beatles. This legend posits a chilling scenario.
Subliminal.
Paul McCartney, the
Or
charismatic
it could just be their
bassist
way
and
of putting it
co-lead
out there
vocalist of the Beatles,
so the karma comes
died
off
in
of them. Remember what I was saying?
1966 and was
They
replaced
can't
by
just
a
put it in your
lookalike.
face, but they can put it in there.
The roots of this urban legend trace back to 1966. It was an era of Beatlemania, where the Fab Four not only
And like they were
dominated
the biggest
charts,
thing
but also
ever in
the collective
music
consciousness
in
of the youth.
1966.
The rumor, seemingly born
Really?
out of thin air, began
Everybody
its eerie
almost
whisper
loved the
across
Beatles.
college campuses
All the young
and
kids.
into the mainstream media by September
But
1969.
yeah, bigger
Central
crowds
to
than
this
Elvis
bewildering
had. He
theory was a
the biggest
specific
at that
tragic
point.
event: Paul McCartney's death in a car crash. According to the lore, this catastrophic
What would
event
you do?
claimed McCartney's life,
Take Paul's
setting the
dead or
stage
find
for
somebody
one of the
that's
most
just like him?
enigmatic tales in music history. In
Never
an
know,
effort to
man.
shield the public from the immense grief this
Like,
news
we don't
would
want nobody
surely
to know Paul's
cause,
dead.
the surviving Beatles, purportedly with the assistance of Britain's MI5, embarked on a covert operation to replace McCartney with a look-alike. This extraordinary claim transformed the way fans listened to the Beatles' music and viewed their album covers.
Sergeant Pepper.
Clues were allegedly embedded in these elements, suggesting the truth about McCartney's fate. Enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists meticulously analyzed lyrics and scrutinized cover art, convinced that the band was communicating the dark secret through subtle, cryptic messages. By October 1969, this pursuit of hidden truths had escalated beyond a mere hobby for a few curious fans. It became an international phenomenon, captivating Beatles enthusiasts across the globe. People delved into the band's discography with
They're delved all
almost
the
forensic
feet.
attention to
Yeah,
detail,
barefoot,
seeking
right?
out
Yeah.
any hint or symbol that could be linked to the supposed
And
car
how one's
crash and
dressed in like
McCartney's
all blue
replacement.
jeans like a pallbearer,
This
one's dressed
global
in
fascination
mourning,
highlighted
one's
not
dressed
just
in
the
all
enduring
white like a
impact of
priest.
the Beatles, but also the allure of mystery and the compelling nature of collective myths. The Paul is Dead conspiracy, fueled by the tragic imagery of McCartney's alleged car crash, wove itself into the very fabric of Beatles lore, becoming an unforgettable chapter in the saga of the world's most famous rock band. The Paul is Dead conspiracy theory is not just a tapestry of clues, but a saga with its own intricate narrative. According to the most widely circulated version of the story, the tragic chain of events unfolded on November 9th, 1966. Some say September 11th of the same year. The tale begins with
September
McCartney
11th.
storming out of a Sgt. Pepper recording session after a heated argument with his bandmates. Distracted, perhaps by thoughts of the meter maid from Lovely Rita, he allegedly failed to notice the traffic lights change, as hinted at in A Day in the Life. The result was a catastrophic car crash leading to McCartney's supposed decapitation, an incident cryptically referenced in Don't Pass Me By. In this elaborate narrative, a funeral service for McCartney is said to have taken place, with eulogies delivered by George Harrison in Blue Jay Way and Ringo Starr in Don't Pass Me By. The Abbey Road album cover is interpreted as a representation of McCartney's funeral procession, with John Lennon symbolically officiating the funeral in Strawberry Fields Forever, with the ambiguous "I buried Paul" statement. To shield the public from the trauma of McCartney's death, or perhaps as an elaborate joke, a McCartney look-alike was allegedly enlisted. This stand-in, an orphan from Edinburgh named William Campbell, or alternatively Bill Shepard, later dubbed Billy Shears, was said to have won a McCartney look-alike contest. This replacement theory is bolstered by the Beatles' retreat from live performances and their evolving image for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Further fueling the conspiracy, some theorists assert that the Beatles, overwhelmed with guilt, left hidden messages in their music and album art as a way to subtly communicate the truth to their fans.
Get the truth.
This version of the story also implicates Britain's MI5, suggesting their involvement was driven by fears of the severe distress McCartney's death would cause among the Beatles' global audience. This detailed narrative, woven through the fabric of Beatles history, presents a complex and haunting version of events that continues to intrigue and captivate fans and conspiracy theorists alike. Whether grounded in truth or born from the depths of imaginative speculation, the story of McCartney's alleged demise and secret replacement remains one of the most enigmatic and enduring legends in the world of music. The act of playing Beatles songs in reverse emerged as a particularly compelling aspect of the Paul is Dead conspiracy theory. Enthusiasts claim that when certain tracks were reversed, they revealed hidden messages pertaining to McCartney's supposed demise. A prime example is found in Revolution 9, where the repeated phrase, "number 9, allegedly morphs into a chilling, "Turn me on, dead man," when played in reverse. Similarly, a segment of I'm So Tired has been interpreted as Paul is dead, man, miss him, when heard backwards, further fueling the conspiracy narrative. Perhaps
Oh,
one of the
that, man,
eeriest
listen,
instances
listen.
is a reversed playback of It's Johnny's Birthday, which purportedly sounds like he never wore his shoes. We all know he was dead. This particular
That's pretty clear,
ties
guys.
directly into the infamous Abbey Road album cover, where a barefoot McCartney is seen walking out of step with his fellow Beatles.
And he's out of step.
This image has widely been interpreted by conspiracy
That's
theorists as
crazy,
symbolic
too.
of a funeral procession.
Look, everybody's on their
John Lennon
left
in a white
foot.
suit, representing a religious figure.
He's on his right.
George Harrison in denim, the grave digger. Ringo Starr in a black suit, signifying traditional mourning attire. And McCartney, shoeless, symbolizing the deceased. In some cultures, it's believed that the dead are buried without shoes, adding another layer of supposed meaning to the
Don't
Abbey
bury
Road
me in
imagery.
shoes, I know this.
These backmasked messages and visual cues blend into a captivating tapestry of clues for those who subscribe to the conspiracy, transforming Beatles albums into a puzzle that holds the secret of McCartney's fate. Whether these findings are intentional Easter eggs or mere
Come on, bro. You got this. What do you think?
I think it's interesting.
Man, it's crazy. There's a lot of weird coincidences.
As I say, he kind of looks like him, and he kind of, kind of don't.
What'd you think, Juju? Had you heard that before?
Because I mean, they look almost exactly the same. But it's a younger Paul McCartney versus, one with his
Well, the
mustache.
thing is, we've seen Paul McCartney our whole lives
Right.
as if it is a different guy, that guy.
Right.
That guy, if he is really Billy Shears and not Paul McCartney, has been Paul McCartney longer than Paul McCartney was Paul McCartney.
Right.
And that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Alright, so have y'all heard about, y'all remember a few years back Pokemon Go was really big?
Mm-hmm. I used to play.
You remember that, Juju?
What?
Pokemon Go? They would like go searching on their phone
And
follow
catch all the Pokemon.
in town and around. Alright, so that is said to really be a government spy program.
Really?
Yeah, put it in.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go government spy program.
I used to play the shit out of that game.
I guess because you're putting your location in every time you play it, so they automatically can.
You can drive down the road while you're playing it too. Yeah.
Pokemon Go spy program.
And the Pokestops are like in parks or really historic areas.
Right.
Stuff like that. And
It's like geocache. We used to do that.
Yeah.
How to fake wall, all your put in government in between spy and go. What are you doing?
Doing what I'm sorry. My brain don't.
What do you do?
like
I can't.
He took the gold that was already there and just added VERNMENT. So now it says Pokemon government. Funny.
This will get you banned in Pokemon Go.
Keep going down. Keep going down. Pokemon Go in trouble with the government.
shit on Pokemon Go. Government spying on us through
There you
app.
go. I was gonna say that's gonna be the first one we ain't been able to pull
Sit
up
down.
a video.
Bro, sit down. What is up, YouTube, and welcome to
It's
another
like a
Crib Zone excursion. If you guys enjoyed this
Akita
video,
Husky.
don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more.
Nice, bro.
This is the first time crypto's ever inside my car. This will be very interesting.
Ain't got this fucking seatbelt covered.
How long is it?
Hey, put your paw down. Sit down. Respect.
That dog wants to go.
Shop, there is a
Fucking
skate
ride a
shop, I
skateboard
believe,
and fucking doing Pokemon.
are known as Pokestops. This is where you get all of your inside of a library. Just go as high as you can go. Is
Gotta
that
be
a
in
floor?
Pokemon stops. You should be in the library, even in hospitals too.
Fucking dogs sniffing each other's ass.
Watch out, dog.
There's like fucking like 6 or 7 at St. Edward's,
Yeah.
and there's like 8 or 9 at Baptist. Pokemon stops.
Alright guys, if that one is true, they're doing a good job of concealing it.
Can't find that one, can you? What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, that dude's back.
Don't it sound pretty big?
Whoa, here we go
It
again.
sounds like mice.
I don't know. You better shut up, I know that.
We have our on air sign on. Chip. I said chip. I'm not authoritative. Talking back.
You can tell Derek get his fucking troll out of here.
It's crazy.
Whoa.
Crazy ass bear.
Hello? Hello? Her? I'm here. Alright. Love you. Alright, Taylor Swift. You ever heard that she's the phone of the satanic priestess chick?
No.
I don't know her name. Just put in Taylor Swift, clone, satanic priestess. Sounds crazy. She was like a priestess of this religion cult thing.
I heard that Madonna's kind of in something like that.
That's what I heard too. But you know Madonna. She do wear some on. Well, never mind. Back to what we're doing.
Taylor Swift. I get first, damn it.
Here.
Satan lives.
Time traveler.
Mom says she can't see.
Okay. Taylor can't?
Hmm.
That's crazy. Your mom's tone deaf.
I know, right?
Xena Levy?
And we got to go this one cover that too.
No, leave it, yeah. Click. Space. Xena, or Zeno, Levy, L-A-V-E-Y, Z-E-E-N-A, L-A-V-E-Y.
E-V?
L-A-V-E-Y. Where's the cigarette?
I see it back over here on the seat.
Oh, boy. Okay, good, man. Alright, go down. There's one that hit. Scroll down. And
They must stay.
stop. Right there. Clone. Question mark.
New arrivals are in at Dick's Sporting
Good
Goods.
job,
Start
Juju.
your season strong with gear for the sun.
You helped me with that one.
I buy into the big game, plus clothing, shoes, outerwear, and more from Nike, Kalia, Stanley, and Carhartt. Sport your fall essentials now in store or at Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
You got some good stuff there.
Okay, Fred. Time to find the perfect apartment on
You know all
Zillow.
about dicks, don't you?
Hurry. Change will be
Alright.
good.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh boy, do I have a fun one for today. Did you know there's a conspiracy theory out there that Taylor Swift is a clone? And that she is a clone of the daughter of the founder for the Church of Satan. Satan! Satan! I'm not going to string you along or anything like that, so I'll just say straight away that no, I don't think Taylor Swift is a fucking clone of anybody. But that still doesn't mean it isn't any less interesting or funny. And according to the people of 2016, this was a trend people were legitimately following. More often than not, the articles being written were tongue-in-cheek, but some others, not so much.
At first I found this kind of silly, but of course when I researched into
It
this
does look a
topic,
lot
I kind of
alike,
grown
yeah.
suspicions. Now, whether you like it or not,
I think they're just putting out similar
it's always been a
looking
thing.
Yeah.
Since the
grown
50s. Now, whether or
tooth
not Taylor Swift is
babies
a
or
clone,
whatever, you know, whatever we are. They only got so many
Now,
modes.
one of the main evidence that Taylor Swift might be a clone of Xena LaVey is that they look strikingly similar. I mean, you would have to be blind not to see their similarities.
Right.
I also looked at Xena Shrek or Xena LaVey. Apparently, she also is a musical artist.
It's been a while since my previous Satan vs. Satan
You're
video,
welcome,
and since
Jujus.
we are in the month of Halloween, let's take a look at the conspiracy theory that Taylor Swift is a Satanist Illuminati clone. Before we get started though, I do want to address something from my previous Satan vs. Satan video. To the many people that commented on the video, I want to sincerely say thank you for taking the time to watch it as well as comment. Because it was kind of cool going on there. It's on to form the Church of Satan on April 30th, 1966. Wherever you stand on the line for the whole Satan versus
Look,
Satan,
he was
and what is
36
true
when he found
Satanism,
his
I think
phone.
most people in those faiths can agree that
that's
without
not-
Levy, then at least on a mainstream level, Satanism wouldn't be where it is today. So fast forward to November 19th, 1963,
Damn.
when Xena Levy was born. A little less than 3
look a
years
lot
before
like
her father
her.
would make history in founding the original Church of Satan. I won't be going over all the ins and outs of Xena Levy's life. I will be kind of going back to that periodically when we get to the conspiracy theory to kind of like add more context to the situation. But this may be a topic that I'll cover like sometime in the future because there is so much mentally ill and survivors of all pseudo-religious state. Since 2004, Phoenix provides spiritual healing for victims of exploitative pseudo-religious organizations, former gang members, whistleblowing ex-employees of corrupt corporations and government agencies, relatives of the violently mentally ill, and survivors of all forms of institutional abuse, including secretly abused children and spouses of prominent personalities. Hey, if people are using stuff like the Sethian liberation movement to get out of like cult-like situations, and as long as the people aren't being exploited again for like the fact that they've basically been manipulated for years, then I think that's cool because we all have our own different ways of coping with shit. Do whatever works best for you. I do also want to say that I wasn't able to find like a website or anything for the Sethian liberation. Was a high priestess of the werewolf order, which honestly sounds kind of badass. She was in a band with now ex-husband Nicholas Shrek entitled Radio Werewolf, and has also had solo recordings as recent
Look
as
at the
March
long
11th
way.
of 2020, both of which were very experimental. Yeah? Yeah, looks like I hit all the lived a
Alright,
pretty
so let's,
fascinating life that my brief fast synopsis and
jump
wiki page
over
only really
to-
scratches the surface of. Moving on.
Oh, we're on the other one, weren't we?
Yes.
My bad. Type in a Y. Give me a Y. Thank you. Alright, Taylor Swift. Concerts. Satanic.
Wonder how many Taylor Swift fans know about that. That should be like a leader of a satanic cult.
If you look around, everything is inspiration.
Adobe.
My best friends and I own Pirate Worldwide. We're on a mission to discover as many.
For Swifties, seeing Taylor Swift live is a dream come true. But for some of these diehard fans, they have no memory of their concert experience. It's being called Taylor amnesia. You heard that right. Some fans can't remember the concert they attended just moments earlier. That's what happened to 32-year-old Nicole Booz, who saw Taylor earlier this month in Philadelphia.
You spent almost $1,000 on a ticket, right? And you can't remember anything?
It felt like so surreal. Afterwards, as we were leaving, I was like, did she play this song? I don't remember this song. I don't remember her doing that. And just little things like that. But I do remember going to the concert.
Doctors say Taylor...
Does Taylor cast spells on her listener?
That's what I was going to say. I've heard about that.
Well, I don't want to listen to it.
Not
All
like
right.
that.
So, what's our thoughts on that?
That's crazy.
I don't think they're a clone, but I think it's crazy that the similarities.
Yeah, very striking. Very striking.
Alright, so
Incarnation, whatever.
let me see.
Alright, Shad.
What about celebrities being replaced by government clones? Like Jamie Foxx,
I've heard about that.
after he got sick, all of a sudden said that they were trying to take him out. Gucci Man.
Yeah.
Put in celebrity clones. Kanye West, another one. Martin Lawrence, Britney Spears,
Even Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Get this fucking shit out of here. This tastes like my...
Avril Lavigne, that's another one.
Oh, man.
Top 10 celebrity replacement conspiracies. So you have Paul and Avril that was supposedly replaced. Kid Blue on being cloned.
They were talking about him too, Kevin Hart. Even LeBron James, I think too, huh?
Yeah. Look at the disguises. And that was probably back in the day they used
Even the
this,
presidents.
Let's see, the 5 famous rappers that have been
I'm
cloned,
very, very
supposedly.
pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born.
Celebrity clone conspiracies, they go
Hopefully,
way
yeah,
back
they've
in
been
time.
doing that shit,
There's one
starting
with
from
Michael Jackson,
babies. So
there's
what
one with
if
Paul
that's how the
McCartney,
Taylor
also
Swift
Britney
happened?
Spears and Beyonce.
They clone them as
Then
a
there was
baby
strange story with
embryo,
Avril Lavigne
and then they
that
grow
was
up.
in the web since 2005. Now, various websites, they report that she died in a car crash, and then she was replaced by a doppelganger originally named Melissa. Now, most of these
They always have a name,
theories, well, they're
too.
stuck on stars of pop
What
culture.
happens is her
Well,
music
recently,
changed
people
so
have
dramatically in her
questioned the
style
number
that
of
they
rappers
everybody's
having
like,
clones.
oh, well,
Some
she
of
was
the
a
theories,
rebel, now she
and others, well, they've been confessions.
Went
I
to
was
Paul.
cloned by Clonate in Canada. My model number is 011.
I've seen this
The
one.
internet went a little crazy following
Dude claims he was
Kid Boo's
cloned
reveal
in the
that he was
lab.
cloned, and whether you believe him or not, well, the big reveal has only increased his profile. With Google searches under Kid Boo, well, they've reached an
Kid
all-time
Boo.
high. Regardless if you believe the hype or not, this has generated a lot of buzz for Kid Boo, and in today's
gonna
world,
say, it
social
definitely
media
gives you some
stars
audience.
generating a buzz, well, that's half the battle. Now, it actually got me thinking, if I had a clone of my own, well, I could produce a lot more content here on this channel. And apparently the Clonate facility, well, it's located here in Canada. Now, I had plans to go and check out the facility, but interestingly enough, well, first off, in the number 5 spot, we have Sue Generous. This Bay Area artist has been dropping songs on SoundCloud for a little over a year now. His track Now, featuring Little Skies, became a viral hit with almost 8 million streams at the time of this recording. The music video sits at 1.4 million views, but his recent post to Instagram, well, that's what really caught my attention.
So lately there's been a lot of cloning going on in the music industry. And I've been trying to keep it a secret, but with Josh showing it, I might as well do the same. We got the same genetics, same hair, same everything.
So obviously this kid is just trolling, but good for him.
That's
I got him a
funny.
follow from me on Instagram, and it landed him on this list. Now clearly the video was a spoof on the Clone King, which brings us to the number 4 spot. I'm talking about Kid Boo. By now everyone has seen some version of Kid Boo's DJ Glad interview where he talked about his time in cloning in Canada. He gave us his ID number, and he talked about escaping with some documents. Now, all this was a little strange. It became a big viral news story, and then a million exposed videos they would follow. Now, stirring up controversy, Kid Boo, he then got to work to make even more videos. And this one, well, it got a lot of people talking once again.
Yeah, definitely got him more media.
Sure you want me to do this? Yeah, that's go ahead. What y'all gotta say now?
Then there was this video made
So
where
they
he
just have a
showed
twin
us his
brother?
clone,
Maybe.
well, meal prep. Then he actually took his boys to the Clonate facility. So he says.
You don't have this, you can't go on Yard. You can't use the internet.
But he was saying he escaped.
Bro,
from
you was
that.
in Canada and you didn't give me a call? Now,
Why would you
regardless
go
if you
back?
believe Kid Boo or not, you must admit this guy's pretty entertaining. He also gets
He's
bonus
something,
points for
alright.
pushing things as far as he has. He's got his boys like helping him out. He's got name tags printed out. He's got uniforms. And if you take the time to actually hear his story, well, it's a very elaborate one. He's very convincing. The dude has done his research. It's like about a cult, and well, they've been doing this stuff since 2002. Check out this video I found.
We started really to work with human eggs in January of this year. So it took us 3 months to finalize.
Like I said, this clone thing, it's gotten out of control, and it's made others jump on the bandwagon. Even Trippy Red, well, he took to IG Live announcing that he too was a clone.
Yeah, I'm a third gen though. Both my first and second gen was clone.
My first gen was up, bro, doing crazy. All kind of crazy.
Alright, Trippy was like a bonus round. Let's move on to number 3. Here we have Kodak Black. Okay, this story is pretty far-fetched, but there are literally hundreds of videos on this topic. Kodak Black, he disappeared from social media for an extended 7 months, and this is because he was doing some time in jail. Now, upon his release, well, he began acting like an entirely different person. He even looked different.
A lot of people believe that Kodak Black has been replaced. In the video of his release, he appears to have a different build, as well as missing his face tattoos.
Further fanning the flames, Kodak, he took to Twitter and
You can read
admitted
your
he was
face
a clone. Well, kind of. He tweeted, I've been out 5 days and only spoke to one female, which was Madukes. Hashtag, I'm a clone. Some of the charges Kodak was facing meant he had to turn over a new leaf, and he needed to start behaving himself. And, you know, if he wanted to keep rapping and not spend the rest of his life in jail.
How long was
Now,
he in
these days,
jail?
he does make an appearance
8
as a
months?
more refined artist, but other
Yeah, he
times
could've
seems
got
like he's
swole
back
up
to his
if he
old
was working
ways.
out every
And then there are
day,
times
yeah.
he throws people for a curveball when he posts videos like this.
Look at me. Hey.
I don't stay in the projects anymore. I'm not a project baby anymore. I'm a suburbs kid.
That does not look like the same.
I'm suburban.
Does it?
A lot of people compare him to Gucci Mane, which brings us to the number 2 spot. Gucci Mane and the Clone Wars. This was everywhere. When I said there were hundreds of videos on Kodak Black being a clone, well, there's thousands when it comes to Guap. And things they got so out of control, he even had to sit down with the press, and he did an interview regarding his clone with GQ Magazine and Vader.
So it's funny. I embrace it. It just let me know a clone is like perfection. So if I look like a machine or a robot, then evidently I'm doing something well.
Gucci Mane certainly went through a major transformation. He went to prison weighing 50 pounds more than we see him with today. He also got off drugs, including a heavy addiction to lean. He also got on a strict diet, and he started working out heavily. He also got married. A lady will do that for you. She'll really help you get your shit together. Now with him going through such an epic transformation, everyone was talking about him being a clone. To me, he looks more like LeBron James, or like a clone of LeBron. Definitely doesn't look like the old Guap. Anyway, the man's happy, he's healthy, and I'm very happy to see it.
There you go.
Then moving on to the number 1 spot, there are plenty of other rappers I could include. Eminem, he's got a few conspiracy theories about him being a clone as well. But instead of doing that, I'm going to take this time to introduce you guys to Jeremy. Now you guys know I put a lot of work into this channel, and to keep the quality content coming, well, I need to enlist some help of a co-host. And if you're...
It's before they were hosting, before they were famous. Wait, what? I was born a big... It's not that close to Toronto. I'm about my biz, but crazy to me. In January of 2016, I started doing phone interviews for a hip-hop magazine in New York called Respect, which is owned by hip-hop legend Elliot Wilson. I interviewed guys like Cousin...
Alright. Anyway, there was 4.
Didn't get the kids.
I felt like most of them was just people that changed their lifestyles. You got enough money, I guess it ain't that hard to do.
How much? I wonder how much that would cost. But I'm not.
More than we get.
You're making a clone of yourself?
Nah.
No, just changing your whole style to like your lifestyle and get healthy and look better and.
No, I don't need no clone. No. I'm gonna have a doppelganger out there. No.
Never heard of that one. Alright. Y'all heard about Lady Gaga?
No.
That she unalived another pop star and stole her identity? And I heard of this one myself. We also got, after that one, Kris Jenner sold Kim's sex tape. I think somebody in the family did, because they all, look how fucking crazy rich they all are now.
Kardashians?
Yeah. The Jenners and Kardashians, all because that tape came out and everybody knew who Kim Kardashian was all of a sudden.
Do I have a sex tape?
Uh-huh. They're saying her mom released it. So like, for publicity, I guess.
That's crazy.
On the list of stuff we've been talking about, that's the least craziest thing. That's human nature sometimes, I guess. Can at least be explained. Hiding in plain sight. Whoa. What'd you put? Unalived a pop star and stole her identity. Here. Alright. Hard left-handed. Go ahead and do it.
Backspace.
And you can say the M word on there.
What's the volume one? Nothing.
M word.
Scorpion is on. I saw a police chase today on the way.
Another pop star. Takes one minute. And stole her identity. What?
Scorpion, he said he saw a police chase.
What's up, Scorpion? Hell yeah. Was it like a crazy one? I seen the weirdest police chase, me and Shay, one day. It was like a 5-mile-an-hour police chase all over the Sunnymead and 50th, and like we followed the fucking cop that was following the drunk person.
Really?
And they were going like 5-10 at the most the whole time.
Drunk
And the
people?
cops just following all through neighborhoods. We were just following them. We were high as hell.
You're crazy.
I just want to know, like, we ended up giving up on it, but I want to know what the fuck, what are you chasing this dude for? He's the safest person on the road, probably.
He's only going like 5 yet. Find him already? Here, take this.
Here, take this. Quit struggling.
Lady Gaga selling someone's identity.
Moving on.
Yeah, get me
I see one about her dogs. Suing her.
Is that the one about their dogs getting kidnapped or whatever?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It might be.
They got
Yeah,
stolen
yeah,
from
they
them.
stole her dogs.
Yeah.
Look at Shad over here.
TMZ.
Surprising me. What's up, Scorp? Sorry, I was typing. How you doing today, Scorp?
She didn't yell anything. I thought she yelled. Know what the fuck I'm hearing.
It's not showing anything, but except for someone stealing her dogs.
What is it?
Somebody stealing her dogs, Lady Gaga's dogs.
Yeah. Hey. Get me on it.
You're on it.
Beyonce.
And I don't
Alright. Like that. Explosiveness.
Episode
And
20.
welcome to the Thunder Rooster podcast. My name is Ron.
And I'm Paul.
Today marks our 20th episode.
Versus Lady Gaga.
We kind of around the realm of the conspiracy vein, also music as well.
She's super hot.
Paul, why don't you go ahead and tell us about our
Great body.
topic today?
So today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is the conspiracy of Lena Morgana, or in better words, we could say Lena Morgana versus Lady Gaga, if you will, in a sense. So this whole idea, I came across, I was reading a couple blogs here and there a couple weeks ago. This has actually been around for a while. I actually was not aware of it.
Yeah, I've never even heard of Lena Morgana.
No, neither really did I. Ron knows, obviously, I am, Lady Gaga fan. I prefer more of her music from the last 5-6 years versus what she had out in the beginning. That's here nor there, but
understandable.
I know. So this story has kind of been on the rounds on the internet, and it's very interesting because again, it's conspiracy. Again, this is what I'm bringing up here. I mean, these are alleged, allegations. Allegedly. Let's make this very clear. Nothing has been proved at this point, but a couple things that I came across. It was kind of interesting, and I thought maybe it was a good idea to bring this to our program.
Okay,
for sure.
yeah.
So basically, I think a lot of us know who Lady Gaga is.
Yeah.
First off, her real name, if you're not familiar, is Stephanie Germanato.
Germanato?
Yes. So she's Italian.
That's fun to
Italiano.
Germanato.
And so before she made it big, she was obviously going through the ranks like a lot of other musicians, trying to get demos, things of that nature. She performed, did a lot of things, and
yeah, wasn't she in a developmental state band?
Yeah, I have a clip that we'll play at one point of the show, and it was just basically she was with a band. This is probably one of the earliest things I've ever seen of her. It was about 2006 or so. Okay. And she was just free reigning on the piano with a couple other band members. It was kind of just like a jam performance, right. But obviously it was in a small club. But it was totally different from what you hear now. What her music is, what her direction is. So obviously she has artistic ability. She can, do a lot of different things. But I believe she was on Interscope at the time. But where this kind of goes into play is this rising star, I guess, pop girl. Her name she went by Lena Morgana, and she actually was working with Lady Gaga at the time with a record producer named Rob Fazard.
Right. I remember watching a video in preparation for this episode, and at the end of it, it just said that Lady Gaga basically, I think, did keyboards and wrote the song.
Right. So the way it kind of worked out is Lena was signed to Sony at 19.
Damn.
And then she started working with Rob Fazari, and then Lady Gaga and Stephanie at the time, Stephanie and Lena got to work together because they actually started working with Rob. Rob, actually, the side note is that down the road, Lady Gaga and Rob were boyfriend and girlfriend. Also, he was the producer for most of her albums. Then there was a big legal battle and a little situation that happened in regarding to some royalty situations, and that got all mapped out, but there was a big lawsuit between those two. We won't focus too much about that because that's not what we're really dealing with at this point. But between what Lena and Lady Gaga were doing, obviously Lady Gaga was helping her with backing vocals, helped write songs for her, and there were collaborations that were in regard to this before she actually went to her first album in 2008, which is The Thing. Where this gets crazy and where you start to see things is that this young woman had died. She basically passed away from jumping off a building. They labeled it suicide, and still to this day it's kind of finicky on some of the information you can find, like, again, we're going back kind of pre-social media, like right
Maybe
at the
my
start.
next case.
So you really kind of only have like maybe a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of
Murder
MySpace.
with Maude.
She had a MySpace account. I can't find it.
Yeah, definitely Twitter. That's for sure.
Twitter, you know, and then it's like Wikipedia. There wasn't really a whole lot about her, and a lot of the stories outside of like just circulating internet hoax stuff, there wasn't a ton. I found some things. Yeah. Now we kind of mainly are focusing mainly from the testimony from her mother. Mm-hmm. Her mother created a website, leanmorgana.com, and that was basically to push for the rights of undistributed music. So her mother claimed that her image, her stage presence were all stolen by Lady Gaga. And some of the pictures will show you. You guys can see what's there. Again, take it for what it is, but this is through her account. Because apparently Lady Gaga was totally not like this type of musician.
Lady Gaga can totally start being a style, but the question is that she had a lot of the chick, you know?
Gaga said she had a tough upbringing and things of this nature. Again, this is just hypothetical, but yeah, Lady Gaga went to high school with Nikki Hilton of the Hilton family brand.
Now, do you think that possibly, like, Gaga was basically a backup to Lena?
Or if she was the driving force behind her.
And
the girl just had a better face.
Of what they were wanting to push as a pop star, and she was easily able to step into it. So my only back thought on that was maybe she didn't necessarily steal her style per se. It's just that's kind of what they're pushing.
Of course, that's what her mother looked at, because some of the images, you see some of the imagery, what she wears in her videos, her clothing, just her makeup style, things where in some of these pictures, Gaga is she's just in just jet black hair, nothing else. You can't tell. I didn't even know in a couple pictures that was her, to be honest with you, because she is truly a chameleon. Again, when you see her,
oh no,
you know,
they're both beautiful ladies.
Yes, absolutely. But
so when
you said they're both fuckable.
You said it was ruled a suicide. Was there a suicide note or any kind of thing? Mm-hmm. So it's not completely it couldn't be ruled out that it wasn't a suicide.
Right.
You know, I remember reading something that maybe, somebody saw a Gaga on the rooftop when that happened, kind of. You know,
hey, baby. This case is crazy.
I don't want to say it's vertigo, but there is some kind of thing that goes off in people's mind when they're up at really high points and stuff like that, where you kind of in your mind be like, what if I jumped? Everybody has it. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. I wonder if that.
You don't know.
My opinion is that I don't think Lady Gaga did this. I don't. On some, well, the motive was where it was.
No, I'm just wondering because the timing of all this, kind of shooting a video for something on her first album.
The pictures.
Yes, all the video clips and the things that she did was all pre-2008.
Okay, gotcha.
So then once Lady Gaga released her album, her first album, that's she.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a
second. Hey, Juju, have share. That's crazy. As soon as this chick died, she's all of a sudden that stuff.
And we are back. Hello. Alright. So, we have the tale of the two ladies here. One is being shot into fame, the other one is shot into the ground. That was bad.
Man, a few words, Ron. Few words.
There's no need to make light of that. I'm sorry, but
yeah, you're a dick.
Yeah. So where do we go from here?
Well, we're just gonna go right into it.
I'd like to know where all this started from. Why there is I guess why is
this actually a conspiracy?
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things that come up again. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But one of the first ones that comes across as an idea where people start to wonder about this is Lady Gaga's paparazzi video. The very beginning of the video, there's an altercation between her character and someone else, and she gets pushed off
It's Juju.
the building.
Okay.
And then right after she gets pushed off the building, you see her right at the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of, just saying. The other one you could see is in 2009's MTV VMAs. She acts out her own suicide at the end.
Okay, Stranger Things.
Yes.
Stranger Things.
Then one of her songs called Aura. The lyric in there, and I will read that word for word. And then again, you can take it for what it is. But it says here, I killed my former and left her in the trunk on Highway 10. Put a knife under the hood. If you find it, send it straight to Hollywood. So the ideastic of this is that where this hotel is where she passed away it's closed. Staten Island Hotel. It's located right off of Highway 10.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right?
I'll play it back for him when he gets back. That's crazy.
Why do you put that in there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, like that's just too weird.
Yeah, that's close to home.
Right.
Thing.
That's again.
But I'd like to point out something that you just said, and I'm sure it might be a thing, but ideastic.
Yeah.
Is that
sure?
Did you just come up with that?
Ideastic?
Yeah. Maybe. Let's look into that.
You just stumped me. I don't know what I just did. No, but that's just strange. I like I said, I don't think that there's any truth to that. But why put that in your art? That just, I don't know. That just looks weird.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of that with Lady Gaga.
Well, yeah, we know. But I'm just for the fact of the matter. Yeah. But those little bits of symbolism are just, that's what kind of fuels this.
Yeah, well, Lady Gaga's not a stranger to accusations of occult stuff.
Right.
You know, the Illuminati things, obviously.
So then you have those, and then again you go back to testimony of her mother saying, I think she copied her techniques, her movements, her looks, her stage presence. Because it's very similar between the two.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's what people are kind of like, questioning about it. Her mother's obviously just fighting for the rights of the music, the unclaimed music. There was a lawsuit with the hotel. Obviously, I could not find that information, but the hotel's no longer in existence. So something might have came about because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things you think about. It's like, again, I just said I don't think she did it, but when you have these little crumbs of things that kind of happen, it just makes you think. You know what I mean? So for what it's worth, it's just interesting. To say the least.
It's a brain scratcher, that's for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about it?
I don't know, I think it was a little far-fetched for me.
Right.
Personally, but...
Right.
Again, stranger things have happened.
But would you do that as an artist?
I can't say I wouldn't, but... I mean, it all depends on how art strikes you, it comes to you in certain ways, shapes and forms. And yeah, maybe she has some kind of meaning in that is tied to that, but most of the stuff's usually open to interpretation.
Absolutely.
Unless she explains it herself.
Right, and she's not going to go there any more than that, I don't think.
Probably not.
Because it's no one's business other than if she wasn't a suitor to the crime, then there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
We can debate on these things all day. But I just find it very ironic that you got at least 3 or 4 instances that kind of give something to do with the situation. And I just think that's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't, I wouldn't, that's just me, I wouldn't do it. But again, there is no clarification that any of this was on her, and I just found my note. She was doing Poker Face video on the other end of the country at the time that this happened.
Okay.
So she died October 4th, 2008. And then it was just literally at that point, she's on the other side of the country.
She was probably very frustrated with the fact that she was getting launched and she wasn't. I mean, Lady Gaga really got pretty much instant fame. I mean, when you go into these developmental deals with labels, I mean, you could be a nobody, and they find you have talent and stuff. You don't have to run the circuit like most other people do. You know, it's like rock bands and metal bands. You have to be playing live around the country, sometimes around the world, before you even break.
Right.
And basically, you know, she was in the studio singing, playing the keyboard, piano, whatever. All of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, get off the bench. It's time to go."
Right. Yeah.
You're starting.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself, dealing with that'd be something else. I don't know. Lady Gaga's always been a real strange one for me.
Well, yeah, because Illuminati stuff, this stuff, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
That have been brought up, discussed since she launched her career.
Of course. Yeah.
So, that was a good little conspiracy for you.
Yeah. Definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn, you know, a little more. I'd like for it to hold a little more weight just out of curiosity means, you know, as much as I want to be curious about
I totally understand.
Coming across ghosts and stuff. I really don't want to, but it'd be kind of cool.
Right. Right.
But yeah. I guess pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, unless you got any other comments.
Not really, man. I mean, this is one of those things where
I put closure to this after I read a lot. You know, and there was a lot that was missing.
Don't talk it all?
You had to find.
Not really.
You had to find
Guys.
major
You're watching.
pieces where this again, fault their mother.
Talk about Lady Gaga.
You know. The producer Rob,
Talking
I mean, he
about
says a
that
little bit. You know, he helped coach up Lena.
Since Michael's back there, we're going to talk
To
now.
do as a producer to
like
an artist,
14.
you know, he was.
That's good.
It killed him that she died.
Yeah.
I got enough of it.
Michael is AFK.
We don't I think it could just be that once she was gone, no disrespect to her, but they were all under the same establishment of a music company. And the direction was pushing the main girl, whoever it was, with that style, those in-your-face makeup and theatrics. And once their girl decided to do what she did, if that is how it went down, then, you know, it's not that crazy for someone else to step into that role and keep things going. Now, if Lady Gaga was like at the same place on the roof at the same time.
They have her on the alibi. Like she
They
was
do?
so
She has
like-
an alibi?
Yeah, she
That's
was
easy though.
Yeah.
Is it a
Concert.
video alibi or is it a...
I don't know.
Yeah, our girl was here with us all night.
Hi, Thea.
Who's the LG? Lady Gaga? Oh, recently gave her life to Christ. Her. Yeah, she's really mellow now. Like, her in that remake movie, they do the song Shallows.
Mm-hmm.
Her and the dude from Hangover.
Oh,
The
his
good
name?
looking one.
Yeah, I heard about
We all say, yeah, he is good looking. But Bradley Cooper. And then her album with what's his name?
Tony Bennett.
Yeah, it was really good. Hello. What's up? Yeah, just something for her to snack on. All right, appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
Did she also play with Metallica?
Yeah, we're not talking about Metallica shit.
I know.
He's like, that's my life. How dare you?
What? You got a conspiracy theory on that?
No, he just loves Metallica. Alright, where's my phone, guys? My bad. I took off and left y'all without a list.
You got AFK.
JFK assassination, 9/11. Alright, what about 9/11? That's a touchy.
That's
Where were you?
How does that work?
We'll start with you. Working where?
Coys.
Factory work?
Yeah.
Her? How'd you hear?
My dad
He called you?
came and picked me up, I think. And he was crying and stuff.
Her?
And he told me about it.
I was in Eagle Pass, Texas, looking after Grandma. That happened.
You heard it on the news?
Yeah, Grandma said, "Come in here, check out the news with me."
You thought it was fake at first.
Yes,
I remember
I-
you telling me this
yes,
now. Her. I remember I was staying, me and Jennifer, it was when Cameron and Sierra was little. We were staying at Mom and Dad's for a month or two while we were saving money. And she was at nursing school. I was home with the two kids. Mom and Dad was out of town. Mom called and woke me up at like 8:30, whatever it was.
Yeah, 'cause it happened in
And
the
it was
morning.
like, turn on the TV. And I turned it on, it's on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like as soon as I turned it on, the second plane was like live.
Yeah.
They're like watching it and the second plane was like, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it shook so many people. Now, how many in this room think it's an inside job? I'm kind of here with it. I think there was definitely enough evidence that something else was going on. The CG plane, supposedly, when the plane goes in, the way that the wing disappears or something. We can look it up.
Where did the third one? The third one's going to hit
Hit,
Pentagon, but it didn't make it, and it landed somewhere else. Didn't it?
No, it hit the Pentagon.
It hit the Pentagon.
And there was a hole about
Yeah.
this big, supposedly, that an entire jet went through.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, they said this jet went through steel to go inside the Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Pentagon building, where the jet supposedly went through, was a way smaller hole. Look it up, Juju. Oh, okay.
AFK.
It was a lot smaller hole. And
Yeah,
people,
did
there was
they-
people that were working there that said they heard a bomb go off.
I bet.
In a certain area. And they're saying that the bomb went off, and then by the time the news came on about it, that all the footage had a CG plane. But who knows?
Didn't they have like a pop-up, like, wasn't it like a different aircraft instead of that one? Like trying to mask,
There was another one that landed in a field. I know that the people took it back over.
That's what I was thinking about.
It didn't crash. It like landed in the field and everybody was okay, right? Or did it crash?
I think it crashed.
I know the people took over one of them that crashed, but was that the one in the field? Fuck, I don't know, y'all.
Me neither. I just knew the one that was trying to hit the Pentagon. I guess it did hit it.
Oh, yeah, it hit. There was a big hole. But they were trying to compare the holes.
And that happened the same day, right?
Yeah, all within a short period of time. Whatever it was definitely all planned together.
Yes, it was. And we said, okay.
Precisely.
This priest witnessed the 9/11 Pentagon. That sounds like a imposed video. All right, let's go.
How you feeling today, Tia? If you're still on. I miss you. I love you.
Yeah. I used to see these videos all the time.
Alan watched watching Free Speech TV in Williams, Arizona. Hey, Alan, what's on your mind?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good. What's up?
I was just talking about 9/11. When you look at the Pentagon and you see that little hole in the building, and they say they flew a 757 through there,
right?
It's impossible. I mean, you ask any commercial pilot if there's any out there would call in. It's impossible to fly a jet that big, that fast, make a right-hand turn into the building.
Well, A, how did all those people on the freeway see it happen? And B, where did the 757 engines and landing gear come from that did not burn up in the flames that they found on the ground?
There's a side to both.
They didn't find anything on the ground.
Yeah, they did. They found 757 parts all over the place.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, but that's...
The guy that filmed it, there was a guy that filmed the whole thing 5 minutes after it happened, and he didn't see anything of a plane there.
Yeah, that's just a bridge too far for me. That somehow we sent our own missile into the Pentagon and we killed our own people in the Pentagon.
It does sound crazy, Tom.
And the 757 full of people just vanished. I mean, where is it?
They didn't vanish. 50 declassified Pentagon.
Juju's like, yeah, we're getting to the government shut
You might have seen my excitement.
We need a tech guy. Everything is on the other side of it. Got over the COVID. I picked it up in Chicago. Glad you're doing better. Everybody throw up some good vibes for Tia and all of her family, guys. Huh?
Tired out front.
Dude, he's all over it. He was all over it.
This video is brought to you by your contributions on Patreon. Click here to lend your support to History Education Online today. Hey folks, as many of you may know, I am currently knee-deep in my PhD. What you may not know is what I work on. My research is on the September 11th attacks, specifically about their legacy. I study how events are remembered and how that congeals into a shared history. Now, when I mention this to people at dinner parties, because I love to keep things light and fluffy, I get two major responses. First is people who want to tell me their own flashbulb memories of the day of the attack. I'm okay with this. I nod along and try to forget all the literature that shows that flashbulb memories are almost universally wrong, but hey, it's a party and we're all having fun talking about 9/11. The second major reaction I get is people asking me that question. Was 9/11 an inside job? Given that we're coming up to the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and the 1-year anniversary of my first Step Back video about conspiracy theories, I think that it's time to answer question number 2 for everyone. So, all aboard our hologram plane missile full of lizard aliens, let's do this. For anyone who doesn't remember, the attacks I'm talking about were in September of 2001. Hijackers from the Islamic radical terrorist group Al-Qaeda coordinated 4 simultaneous terrorist attacks, crashing commercial airplanes into the Pentagon and each of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. The passengers and the crew of the 4th plane managed to subdue the hijackers and crashed into a rural field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, instead of the intended target, which some think was either the White House or the Capitol building. Someone get on that alternate history novel. This tragedy was a live media disaster. People were glued to their televisions. Over the next few months, the US government led a UN invasion of Afghanistan. Just a year after that, the US was considering an invasion of Iraq for reasons. This was the beginning of what we now call the global war on terror. And no matter what your political opinion, it is hard to deny the impact of the 9/11 attacks and subsequent war on terror have had on our modern world. They are a little quieter today, but at the time, there were plenty of media and protesters out there who argued that what we saw on September 11th was not at all what it appeared to be. On the day of the attacks, media ambiguities, dodgy reports, and the sheer gravity of the event led many to formulate all sorts of conspiracy theories against whatever group they wanted. So to begin digging in, let's look at all the theories that conspiracy theorists have made over the years. They range from highly technical questions about structural engineering to literal accusation of lizard aliens orchestrating the attacks from their moon base.
Never heard of
Some
lizard aliens.
conspiracy theorists say
I mean,
the
I
United
have, but
States
not.
government intentionally looked the other way and let the attacks happen. Claims to this extent mention that the 9/11 plans had been on the CIA's list of potential plots, but that the Bush administration had ignored it. The Air Force had also been conveniently doing air drills that day, meaning the military was hobbled and was too slow to intercept the hijacked airplane. Others point to insider trading that happened before the attack as, quote, evidence that this was premeditated. For example, there were a number of odd stock decisions made just before the attacks. American Airlines had spent the last few days receiving a large amount of put options on their stock. This is when the stock traders bet on a stock going down. It seems suspicious if you don't mention that the company a few days earlier reported losses and no other airline seemed to receive these options. Larry Silverstein, the owner of the World Trade Center, had just renewed his insurance contract on the towers a few months earlier. After the 1993 bombing of these same towers, he included protection against terrorism as part of the contract.
That's a lot of
also looked
suspicious
suspicious.
shit, bro.
There were even claims of secret gold being moved out of World Trade Center 7 just days before. Going even bigger, some claim that the attacks were in themselves a staged event. Some making the argument that the towers themselves were demolished in a controlled explosion rather than a plane crash. This theory is supported by either misinterpreting Larry Silverstein's choice to let Building 7 collapse rather than risk any more firefighters dying to save it, or by noting a bunch of weird structural details that many experts have since refuted. I will give a link to a nice nerdy description down in the comments, but I will point out one major thing. Thermite doesn't explode. It can't really be used for demolishing buildings. It's designed for disabling vehicles. But to address all of these claims in this video would be a logistical nightmare, as many are highly technical. A lot of books have been written addressing these claims, including a really good one published by Popular Mechanics. I suggest you start there. Again, I'll put this all in the info down below. Some theorists, such as the conspiracy media darling Alex Jones, speculated that Flight 93 was suspicious. This is the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania. Jones claims it looked like a cover-up because the debris field was too big. But this was soundly denied by an airline accident expert who worked on a similar crash back in 1996. Sometimes, a small logistical error can explode into a new conspiracy claim, such as accusations that Flight 93 safely landed in Ohio. These types of claims come from some sort of organizational error on the day, which is to be expected, of course, because it was chaotic. Pointing out that logistical errors are not unusual typically results in a nuh-uh response, and so you're left with an empty debate. In any such situation, I pick the side that has the least assumptions. Occam's razor, yo. Going abroad, some theorists accuse that other governments knew about the plot, but withheld information to the US, allowing it to occur. Some argue that Pakistan's intelligence service, or Israel's Mossad, knew about the attacks, or that Saudi Arabia funded them. The former head of Pakistani intelligence is actually a believer in the conspiracy theories, as is the former president of Italy, Francesco Cossiga. Let's break these theories about foreign governments down. Did Pakistani intelligence know ahead of time? Maybe. However, at any given time, in any given intelligence agency, there are so many potential plots, all with differing levels of credibility. Like with the CIA's missing warnings about the attacks. It could have easily been overlooked by the Pakistanis as well. I imagine Mossad might be a similar story. As far as Saudi Arabia goes, it has such a giant royal family and so much money flowing in and out of its government that some of that money could definitely have wound up in Al-Qaeda's coffers. Whether this was part of official Saudi government policy is quite a heavy charge without anything but circumstantial evidence. And Kasiga rescinded his trutherism. So here the conspiracy people might be right. There might be a log in some intelligence database about the 9/11 plot, and Saudi money probably did get into Al-Qaeda's bank accounts. But it's just a tad more complex than that. Some theorists claim that forensic evidence of the attacks was covered up. These theories range from denying that Flight 77's black box was irreparably damaged to the idea that Osama bin Laden's video taking credit for the attacks was a forgery. Some conspiracy theorists focus on this tape, and not the 2007 tape by bin Laden taking responsibility in order to absolve the Taliban, or the Al Jazeera interview with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Ramzi bin al-Shibh, the two men who planned the attacks confessing their involvement. The US has arrested quite a few people who have laid out the story of the attacks rather well by this point. Inevitably, there are also claims that the attacks were conducted by Israeli agents rather than extremist Islamic militants. And of course, the theory comes with the very charming accusation that many Jews working in the towers didn't show up for work. You can't have a conspiracy movement without someone blaming Jews. There are also a few theories that get a little more fanciful. There is, of course, the claim that the planes used in the attacks were not planes at all, but missiles covered in a hologram. Or, my favorite conspiracy guru himself, David Icke, positing that the attacks were orchestrated by lizard aliens that live on the moon. No joke, it's a real thing. So we have all these claims that the conspiracy theorists have laid down, but why do they think the attacks were ordered? There is the Pax Americana conspiracy theorists who claim that the attacks were orchestrated by neoconservatives set on world dominance. Given their completely illegal war in Iraq and dubious claims to get there, they aren't doing themselves any favors here. However, the haphazard planning of these wars and the long-term disaster it has been for neoconservatives who have really lost their grip on power in the first place or so really don't point to an all-powerful group. Capitalizing on tragedy doesn't necessarily point to conspiracy. The second explanation is that the attacks were orchestrated in order to launch a series of wars to seize the global oil supply. The problem here is that unless they found a way to make oil from opium, nuts, or rugs, Afghanistan was not a wise place to start. Iraq is rich in oil, but not the richest. The US has plenty of states in the Middle East that are both friendly and have plenty of oil. If I were to posit a reason for the Iraq War, it was because the moment they were in, they felt that they could expand US interests in the region by taking out leaders that opposed US hegemony, like, say, Saddam Hussein.
Right.
The third major explanation is that the attacks were meant to bring about the New World Order. This is a favorite of Alex Jones, who claims a disparate networks of banks, corporations, globalists, and military folks wanted a war to establish a world government. These theories are older than 9/11, but in the conspiracy world, everything finds its way back to the New World Order. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon supervillain version of neoliberalism. Seriously, guys, just read some David Harvey. You don't need elaborate schemes for rich people to take over the planet. The 9/11 truth movement really peaked around the Bush years, and in many ways it stood as a resistance to the Bush and the war on terror, rather than as a serious allegation. There were a few big media products, such as the movies Loose Change and Zeitgeist, but they don't get up to as much trouble as they used to. Belief in 9/11 conspiracies is almost a relic, and now we have a whole new set of conspiracies to define our age. Why did these conspiracies spread so rapidly? Well, it doesn't help that many people watch the attacks live. When watching a media event like this live, we find lots of ambiguous and conflicting reports as things unfold in real time. It happened during the terrorist attacks in Paris last fall. Maybe it's just a trade-off of our desire for immediate information. Many people have studied the role of hearsay and folklore in the development of conspiracies. Many 9/11 conspiracies have their roots in urban legends, which in the age of the internet spread much faster than we can fact-check, no matter how hard Snopes tries.
Right.
There are, of course, millennialists who are always on the lookout for the latest sign of the end of the world, which leads to a lot of people pushing the envelope in order to justify their Revelations canned food collection. And of course, many people are just drawn to the occult and mystical answers. It surprises me not one bit that people have tried to pull out Nostradamus to retroactively predict the future. As I mentioned in my first video on this channel, creating an overarching plan makes people comfortable. It means that we don't have to worry that a few people with box cutters can massacre 3,000 people, because only big government orchestrated operations can wreak that sort of havoc. It sucks a lot of the ambiguity out of the world, and lets the theorist be the hero in their own David and Goliath story. I'd have been more surprised if there wasn't a conspiracy theory or 7 about the attacks. The events were so big, it brought out every other corner of the conspiracy realm. There are both left and right-wing conspiracy theorists who either believe that the attacks were to act as casus belli for a warmongering neoliberal, or for the nanny state to take over our lives and take our guns. We can't forget that there's always a sci-fi contingency, and for some reason, a bunch of people who just really, really hate Jews. The attacks were a tragedy, and terrorism does just what the name implies. 9/11 made us feel vulnerable. When
It's good. Alright. What do y'all know about Roswell, New Mexico?
I want to find that.
That's like a bunker, right? No.
Roswell was where the alien landed at the farmer's house, and they said it was a weather balloon. 1946, I think. On to aliens, y'all.
Wasn't that before Area 51 too?
Supposedly Area 51 is where they took the bodies. It just wasn't probably named Area 51 at that time. I don't know. But,
Didn't they call it the Roswell Project or something, or was that just fucking... might have been a show I seen.
Roswell's a show about a bunch of crazy alien shit in the town of Roswell. It's pretty good. But this is like the first really documented alien crash. It was in the 40s. There's a lot of stuff that stems from it, like the idea that the Magnificent 12 or whatever they were called was formed in secret to keep relations with the aliens and to keep things hidden, which then stems off to the Men in Black and a bunch of other things. But yeah, it can get really deep. I put 51 and I wanted it up. Alright.
Would it be cool to go pick up an alien from the side of the road?
Alright, this is Glenn Dennis. W. Glenn Dennis. I believe this is going to be the guy that owned the property.
Yeah.
Or his son.
Describing essentially what they
Probably his son.
We've all reviewed it's just a nice part of the world. It is. Yeah. Everybody should help. Hang on now. Let's see how our if we go
Inquiring about what would be the smallest possible casket that we could get that would be hermetically sealed. And
oh, he was someone else.
At that time, I know that we had used like the 4th feet and caskets. We had used those before, but I thought they also made them in a 3/6. So, but he wanted to know if we had any in stock, and I said no. But if I can make a call to Amarillo, I can have him in, by 7 o'clock the next morning on the truck. So he said, I'll get back to you, and that was the first contact that I had with the base. Then he called back, probably 45 minutes or so later. And he said, I need to ask you some more questions. He said, in case something like this should happen, he said, we need to know what the preparation, what your preparations are for the bodies that have been laying out in the elements, And he said, we need to know also what if your treatments of the bodies are the remains, what could you do to them, and if your treatments would it
guy
change any
who
of the
apparently
chemical breakdown of the tissue?
Got it shipped to their funeral place and had relations with how to handle the body. I want the actual farmers to. What's it say? Okay.
Donald says, "What's up, fellas? What y'all doing tonight?"
What up, D? We are doing conspiracy theories tonight. Right now we're talking about Roswell, New Mexico. We've had some doozies tonight. How you doing, bro? Full documentary. Man. This one's 30 minutes.
In this documentary, we'll look at the array of stories, conspiracies, and supposed facts that have stemmed from one major event. We will backtrack to understand it.
Summary of the incident.
It's fair to say that the history of this event, as well as the stories, beliefs, and conspiracies that have come thereafter, have been covered many times by multiple newspapers, blogs, and books. However, it is often refreshing to go back to the beginning, where it all started, in order to investigate the events leading up to the crash, as well as those who were directly involved, and the immediate fallout to try and separate the fact from the fiction. So where do we start? It all stems back to the summer of 19...
Do you know anything about this case, Donald?
The dust had only just settled after the colossal defeat
Roswell, New Mexico,
and people were looking forward to
1943, I think.
a prosperous future.
46.
Talks were already underway with regards to a new war, the Cold War. Many people stand by the claim that the crash was initiated by the Soviet Union when they received the startling news from the US Army Air Forces about a flying disc that had been recovered from the desert in Mexico. Having connotations with more recent news reports, it was initially claimed to have been a balloon of sorts, perhaps a weather-based inflation, which was carrying radar technologies amongst its lightweight materials. Yet, almost 50 years later, in 1994, it was apparently confirmed to the public that the balloon was part of a top-secret program known as Project Mogul, a carefully organized project by the US military to detect Soviet nuclear bomb tests. We'll discuss this in a little more detail. So, how did we go from a weather balloon to extraterrestrials? Let's go back. World War II has ended. People are rebuilding their lives, environment, and their infrastructure little by little. But a new threat is looming.
The incident.
Many consider the Roswell incident to correlate with Arnold and Dahl's stories, which occurred on the 24th of June 1947, as the pilot was soaring over the Cascade Mountains of Washington State. The major route to western North America runs from southern British Columbia through Washington and Oregon to northern California. According to the multiple documents over the years, the testimony by Arnold states that he caught sight of what appeared to be 9 bow-shaped objects, which were flying at an altitude of 10,000
Supposedly
feet
the
above
material
ground
from the
and
crash
an aerial formation.
was like super
Arnold described
thin,
the entities as being like a
but
saucer
impossible
you
to
skipped over
destroy,
water,
and was
and
bendable,
of their movements
but
as
like a
being
metal.
uncontrollable and shaky. What was
go
even
back
more
into
fascinating yet troubling was
And
the
the
speed at which the
newspaper
basin-like
put
objects
out
moved.
the UFO had
According
crashed,
to the
but the
pilot,
next day they
cryptic
changed
crafts
it, and the
traveled
military came
approximately
out and said it was a weather
1,900
balloon,
kilometers per hour.
and made the guy
A feat
there
that was
say
considered
what
impossible,
he came out
especially
later,
during the
the man that owned the
1940s.
farm, and said
The
that
day
it
that
definitely
everyone will
wasn't
refer
a
to
weather
when
balloon.
discussing the events at Roswell.
And then the
will be June
military,
14th.
years and decades later, came out and said, okay, so it wasn't what we said it was. We were working on this top secret weather balloons that are made differently, but it was still like this bullshit weather
As the pair
balloon
were
that you
taking
knew
care of
wasn't it.
business and touring the
The
nearby
UFO
grounds,
crash.
they
It's
came
like,
across
why
something
come
that
out
would
and say
forever
you
be
lied
etched in
about that
history
at all?
as one of the most groundbreaking and conspiracy-fueled findings of all time. At first glance, it appeared metallic in nature, especially with the glistening of broken-up shards, which were scattered around it. Upon closer inspection, Brazel, who was immediately interested, yet suspicious of the odd materials, described it as a large black area of bright wreckage made up of rubber strips, tin foil, and rather tough paper and sticks. Looking around the site, above and around him, Brazel was unable to comprehend where the shattered oddity had come from, and so, with his apprehension and suspicion heightened, he got back into his car with his son and headed back home. However, despite trying to put it out of his mind, the strange occurrence and mysterious craft that crash-landed in the desert did not leave his thoughts, and so on the 4th of July he returned to the scene to check if the parts were still there. They were. The fact that nothing had changed, and observing the collection of tin foil, metallic shards and other materials for a second time, solidified his determination to report it to the authorities, and investigate it further. 3 days later, equipped with an empty truck, the rancher headed back once more and gathered as much of the broken craft as he could, piling it into the vehicle before heading straight to the sheriff's office for a meeting with Sheriff George Wilcox. Despite having years of experience dealing with all sorts of people, events and strange activities, Wilcox could not understand the reasons for the crash, nor could he decipher the purpose and mechanics of the materials that Brazel had emptied from his truck. After a brief discussion with the rancher, some generalized note-taking, and an overview of the craft, Sheriff Wilcox made a call to the Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF 509 Composite Group.
There was a problem.
The flying component of the United States Air Force, based in Roswell, and to his close friend, Colonel William Hugh Blanchard. Known as Butch to many, Colonel Blanchard, born in 1916, was a United States Air Force officer who attained the rank of 4-star general and served as Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force from 1965 to 1966. Things were escalating quickly. After a conversation with the sheriff, the objects were escorted off to the base and to Blanchard, who, like his friend, was frustratingly bewildered as to what it was, and more importantly, what it was being used for. The next port of call was General Roger W. Ramey, Senior Commander of the 8th Air Force in Fort Worth, Texas, who was asked to review the wreckage and revert with the next steps. During this period of escalation, Blanchard dispatched an intelligence officer, Major Jesse Marcel, to accompany Sheriff Wilcox and Mr. Brazel back to the desert and to the area of discovery to carefully retrieve the remaining pieces of
Marcel's the guy that lady proved the book was really his.
Outstanding pieces were
the handwriting with the
transported back to the base.
That was his name.
Major Marcel surprisingly
he was really
issued a
close
statement
to
the
it.
press.
He was the one that went out there.
Roswell Daily Record with the headline,
I wonder what his book said, or his
RAAF
journal
captures
said.
flying saucer on ranch in Roswell. The story was immediately catapulted into public consciousness and
Put it
discussion
straight out. That
as the
was
story rang the tagline. The intelligence office of the 509th Bombardment Group at Roswell Army Airfield announced at noon today that the field has come into the possession of a flying saucer. To try and soften the sudden excitement and panic that was spreading across New Mexico and beyond, the military stated that there was a miscommunication in the facts and that the flying object was in fact a weather balloon,
They didn't look
which
nothing
was
like
noted to
that.
be carrying radar target technology. The press ran the story, with the Roswell Morning Dispatch printing, "Army debunks Roswell flying disc as world simmers with excitement." Roger Lanius, retired curator of space history at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C., who has sat on several investigative panels, addressed the conflicting headlines by stating, "A flying saucer was easier to admit than Project Mogul. We'll touch more on that later."
See, they're saying Project Mogul was this high-tech. They'd rather say it was a UFO than what they were really working on, which was
With
some
the
kind of
rumor
weather
mill drying
balloon.
up and the frustration of contradictory
They'll
reports
talk about it.
and disclosures being presented
It's like a
by the
high-tech
government, military,
weather
and
balloon.
newspapers alike, the so-called crash at Roswell began to fade from public discourse. With the constant threat from the Soviet Union and progression of the Cold War reaching fever pitch, the focus of a flying saucer wrapped in tinfoil became less and less important. However, many still question the narrative, and subsequent sightings of UFOs and aliens continue to rise. Around in 1980, the story would return to the spotlight with the release of a book titled The Roswell Incident, written by American author Charles Berlitz and William L. Moore, whose purpose was to try and expose the misdirection and substitute story that they believe was being fed to the public. Their primary investigation and argument focused on the original debris, with both men reigniting the claim that it was in fact from an unidentified flying object of unknown origins. The writers both had experience in dealing with mysterious subjects. Moore also co-authored the Philadelphia Experiment, Project
that's a hell of a
Invisibility,
project.
with Berlitz in 1979.
That shit's crazy.
About an alleged naval experiment aboard the USS Eldridge in 1943.
Tesla
The
told
book
them
discussed the allegations of how
it
the
was not
destroyer
to do
escort
it.
ship
There was something
mysteriously
bad was going to
teleported from
happen.
Philadelphia to
And then they
Virginia,
blackballed him and
and has
kicked
thus
him out of
become
the
one of those
project.
bizarre conspiracies in the last 100 years.
You ever heard of the... Yeah,
Even
we
though
did a show
official
about it.
records contained within the
Where
naval
they
history
time
archives
traveled
claim
and
that no
came
such
back.
thing
Some
ever
of them were
happened.
embedded in the ship.
Like Roswell,
Me and
the
you
general
did that shit.
discussion and that of public interest remained, therefore keeping the story very much alive.
It's crazy.
For their follow-up book on the incident that occurred in New Mexico, Moore and Berlitz believed the wreckage was flown out to Wright Field, later Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, near Dayton, Ohio, for a full analysis, and that the weather balloon theory was hastily substituted to fool the public. No strangers to criticism, skepticism and lack of support from their literary peers, after the release of their previous book, both men would suffer harsh comments from disbelievers and academics alike. The Roswell incident would be universally panned, but would also spark a new, fresh wave of conspiracy theories and discussion about what really happened to Roswell, as well as the long-term aftermath and potential government cover-up. Many will recall that on our Destination Declassified channel, we previously discussed the possibility of a secret society known as the Majestic 12. or
Majestic
MJ12.
12. I said
And
marvelous.
that in 1984, certain documents had emerged, which were said to be classified memos concerning top-secret militarized operations and the birth of a new world order. Apparently, this small group of powerful individuals were assembled by then-President Harry S. Truman to orchestrate numerous operations, one of which was the Roswell incident. We have all heard the stories of a shadowy elite who get together to conspire, discuss, and negotiate with entities not of this world. These documents sparked more concern and debate about the true story of Roswell, despite being rendered
saying what
bogus
I
by the
said, but way
FBI. Roger Launius commented on such heightened paranoia, stating,
I've
by that
watched this
time,
guy's
people's imaginations had gotten the best of them.
Speech?
And so,
yeah, speech,
ever since
but,
the resurrection of the original flying saucer phenomenon
Yeah,
in the 70s and 80s,
he goes to
the
different
concept of
colleges or
UFOs
different places
and search for answers
gives
has never
a
been so
presentation, whatever.
especially with the
There's a
rise of the
certain
internet.
word, but I can't think of it right
Many
now.
truth seekers have explored the parameters of Area 51, the closed-off underground facility located within the Nevada test site and approximately 80 miles outside of Las Vegas. Whistleblowers such as Bob Lazar, the self-proclaimed
Bob Lazar.
physicist,
biggest
Claims to
whistleblower
work
of
on
ever.
site after being scouted in the
ever.
late 1980s to reverse engineer
He says
extraterrestrial
he worked on a
technology.
lot of
Has
reverse
spoken
engineer
publicly at length on
stuff.
the concept of flying saucers.
You
and
ever heard of
Roswell.
him? All kinds of stuff
Others have
about this
also
guy.
claimed to have seen
Very
conclusive evidence
believable.
of alien technologies and creatures in action, which in 1997 were apparently
Like
escorted from
a
nearby
super
areas
genius
of the
engineer
desert
that
to secret
worked on
military
all kinds of
bases.
top secret stuff.
These were later apparently confirmed to be parachute test dummies. Up until recently, the whole subject
Parachute
of aliens,
dummies were the
UFOs,
bodies.
and other supernatural occurrences had
Yeah,
been
how do you
brushed
explain the
aside by
bodies with the
However,
weather
some people
balloons?
claim
You
to
said it
have
was
been
little bitty
threatened,
bodies.
with many scientists, witnesses, or informants either going missing or turning up dead.
Here we go.
Scientists and researchers that
Let us
delve
rewind
into
again.
this usually
It's
end up
worth
dead.
remembering
That's
that the
crazy.
events that occurred at Roswell coincided with the rise of USSR and US governments, which were now in a paranoid battle of wills, a conflict that became known as the Cold War. The race to send astronauts to the moon, the rebuilding of
Still
infrastructure,
didn't
population,
get
workforce,
the old
and
man's
economies,
perspective.
as well as the
And I
stockpiling of
can't think
nuclear
of his
weaponry,
fucking name.
resulted in both nations.
Let's take a look at it. Easier in here. William Ware Mac Brazel. Wow. That is the name. Yeehaw, boys and girls. This is the son talking about it. The first witness. Just watch one about the son. This should tell like
I'm Eugene Vittman.
what he saw.
I'm a Democrat running for Congress in a district we must win. It's expensive.
That dude need to put a nicer shirt on and get music.
All this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group
I'd
headquarters
rather
at
see him in
Roswell, New
t-shirt.
Mexico,
That did not look like his normal. He just looked
which
uncomfortable.
landed on a ranch
Stiff.
outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil was the man who discovered the saucer.
Good morning, Mr. Yowie. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, you got a lot of people.
先入観を与えないため、ブラーゼル氏が話し終えるまで、マセール博士には黙っていてもらうことにした。
I was not out at the ranch at the time, and I picked up an Albuquerque paper, and here's my dad's picture looking at me, and I thought, well, I wonder what he's done now. So I went on to read the article, and I told Shirley, I said, well, I guess I better go out to the ranch, because they said that the Air Force had asked him to stay in Roswell. Anyway, they swore dead to secrecy. So he went on to tell me it was a bunch of sticks, and twine string, he says. And he said on some of these sticks, why there was, he says, Japanese or Chinese figures, you know. And of course he could
So we saying it was a Japanese weather balloon?
start to show me what it was like, you know. And I kept asking him questions, and he said, well, I told the Air Force I wouldn't tell anybody. He said, you're probably better off without knowing. He did show me where he had found this wreckage. And and of course riding horseback, you see lots of things, you know. So I'd go back through there, and naturally I was kind of looking, and then I picked up a few scraps, and that the army hadn't picked up. And I made them in, I'd bring them in my chap's pocket and put them in a cigar box down at the barn. But the little scraps, no, I happen to call it wood, was kind of like balsa wood. It was real light, kind of a neutral color. And pieces of string were something like monofilament fishing line. And then the foil, like tin foil or lead foil, but you couldn't crease it and make it stay. I only had
it could be
one little jagged piece of it.
If he's telling
you
the
bend
truth,
it over, make a crease,
if he's
straighten
telling the
right
truth,
back out.
do the government pay him off?
And it wouldn't, I don't know, it had to hit with a terrific
There's so many
force
good ones I've
because you
seen.
couldn't cut that wood or
Cocksucker. Behind the scenes.
Sound like a weather balloon to me.
Shut up.
Man.
I didn't know UFO would be made out of wood.
No, you're correct about that. The wood story didn't come in until second, though.
In the American summer of
What I saw
1947, the
was the
Second
dude
World War had
talking.
been over for almost
He
2
said he
years, but
found
it was
a
an uneasy
metallic
peace.
metal
Following the defeat
that
of
he could
fascism,
bend
the
and go
alliance
right
of
back to
convenience
shape.
between
He
Western
hit it with a
democracies
hammer
and
and
communist
wouldn't do
Russia
nothing to it.
collapsed.
Soviet Russia was expansively stepping westward,
I feel like I'm in
making
the
the nations
fucking
left empty by
Twilight
war.
The United States had used atomic bombs to defeat Japan, but worried how long it would...
Wasn't Japan spying on him?
And we shall surely endanger the...
Reports that strange flying discs have been whizzing at 1,200 miles an hour over the western
I don't like
United
that
States.
voice.
And?
See, that
Sounds sarcastic. Let's see here.
I can see that. I can see that. Hold on, my show's coming on. We gotta listen to this dude. Sit around the radio, just listen to it.
No more results. That's weird. Did it not type anything? You're fired. Damn it.
There's not that many UFO cases, are there?
There's quite a few. We should do an alien, just straight alien UFO stories. There's a lot of them. Look.
Wow.
That's it. Let's get rid of...
Do y'all think we got a Bigfoot?
Bigfoot! I didn't think about Bigfoot. That's a good one. Hold on.
Do y'all believe we got a Bigfoot?
Huh. Last night. If y'all haven't seen it yet, watch it. It's fucking insane, funny, and crazy at the same time. The new Sasquatch movie about the 4 Sasquatches and like a year journey of them. They don't talk throughout the whole thing.
It's gonna be a silent movie?
Hey bro, listen. Dude takes he finds some buds. They're eating like plants and shit.
Oh shit.
He finds some purple buds and he starts eating them. And they all come over. He's like the big one. In the beginning it shows him like grab the chick and be like, and like, you know, he's got her bent over just banging the shit out of her, bro. And then they have a kid. But
The dude I'm talking about, I don't know if it's him or the other guy. There was 2 guys, a girl, and a kid. 2 grown men. One was a little older, maybe like the dad, I don't know. But he kept trying to fuck the chick. And she'd be like, oh. And he found the weed. And they saw him over there like eat. He was like, and he's like just eating buzz, bro. And they start coming over, and he's like, and he like threatens them, and they go back eating their bush, looking at him. He's over there just eating the shit out of the shit, boy. And the next scene, it shows them just passed the fuck out. He done ate all that weed. He's passed out. Well, he gets up and he sees her bent over fixing the little grass hut thing they made, and he tries to grab her, and she's like, and the whole family like starts fighting him, and he takes off. He's pissed. He's like, dude takes off in the woods, and he comes across this big old fallen tree with a fat ass mushroom of all different colors on it, and he's like, now he eats this shit, and he's fucking tripping, and he's horny, and he sees something.
Where seems to be
in a cave. And he sees eyes and it moving around. And he's like, and he starts getting closer, and you see like this fucking leopard or something like kind of come out. Oh shit! And he's like, So now it don't show what happens. He like rose up on the cave.
Got fucked
Next scene, the other 3 are walking by and they're looking for him because he's gone for a while, and they're banging on trees, and they find this fucking leopard eating his body, like he's eating his stomach and he's dead and shit. The leopard killed his ass. But yeah, it's a fucking trip, dude. Jesse Eisenberg's in it. He's one of them.
I never seen it.
I was laughing my ass off. But alright, my bad, y'all. Bigfoot.
How you gonna do Bigfoot? What is saying?
Don't you yell at me.
Do y'all believe in Bigfoot?
I do. It's no more crazy than us being here. Ooh, BuzzFeed. These guys are great. If y'all ain't ever seen BuzzFeed,
this week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Roswell incident.
They're not
the biggest
BuzzFeed anymore.
Cover-up of all time,
They're on,
or just the biggest misunderstanding of all time.
They had a
70
channel
years
and now
later,
another
we're still
channel
debating about
because
it.
something
This
happened.
is the holy grail of alien stories, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a buzzword. You hear it all the
The
time.
holy grail. Something
with
with one of their
desert government,
interns or
aliens, etc.
the first company they worked for, they weren't like the guys behind it.
1947,
BuzzFeed.
a year that
It's
saw
an
an
online
unusually large wave
media
of
thing.
reported UFO sightings.
Weren't
In the last
like
6 months
taking
of
care of their employees right
1947
or
alone,
something,
there were
or
over 300 claims of
and
UFO
it like
sightings.
went through some
Among
shit and
these
closed
is
down,
the
and they went
infamous
and
Roswell
started
incident.
their own
Skeptics and
channel.
believers alike
And
can
something
agree
happened
on
with it,
one
and they had to
thing.
start this new one. I don't
Something
know what happened.
crashed in the fields of Foster Ranch, located just northwest of Roswell, New Mexico.
That is Brazil.
Whether that something is something extraordinary or mundane
Roswell.
remains highly debated. You're clearly on the skeptic side here already going in, right? That's a dumbass
You ever
question. Of
watched
course
that?
you are. You fucking shit.
One's a skeptic, and one's not. They do ghost
I'll
stuff.
pay
They like
Trevor
ghost.
Don't
They like haunted places.
I'll pay the hell out of you,
They
however I
do
want.
UFO stuff. They
in your
do
free
all
time?
kinds of
Yeah.
shit. They're fucking hilarious.
They're good.
They're nerdy, but they're likable.
Let's go through the official timeline.
And the one over
As
here, the
laid out
believer,
in the media
he's
and
super
through
scared
official
of shit,
reports
and the other
from the
dude's
US Air
like,
Force.
don't believe in
Sometime
nothing,
before
really
June
skeptic.
14th, a crash
They're
occurred
funny together.
on Foster Ranch. On July 4th, a local rancher named Matt Brazel visits the crash site to pick up some of the debris. On July 7th, Mac Brazel decides to take some of the debris to local sheriff George Wilcox. Wilcox then contacts Colonel Butch Blanchard at the nearby military base, the Roswell Army Airfield. This Roswell base was home to the elite 509th Bombardment Group, which deployed atomic bombs at the end of World War II. Colonel Blanchard alerts his superior, General Roger W. Ramey, and orders Major Jesse Marcel, the 509th's intelligence officer, to assess the crash site and recover the materials.
So much bureaucracy here.
I mean, it's the
You
military.
gotta call one guy, he calls a different guy, who calls this guy, orders this guy to call that guy, and then that guy's... This is why information gets muddled in cases like these, because you got this big shitty chain of command.
It's a game of telephone, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's the military. It's a ladder structure.
It's
Of course
game
it's going to be that way.
Game of phones.
Oh my god.
Good, huh?
No, that's terrible.
That's good.
I'm actually upset right now.
Good.
Colonel Blanchard is briefed by Intelligence Officer Marcel on his crash site visit, and on the morning of July 8th, consequently orders Public Information Officer Lieutenant Walter Hott to issue a press release stating that they believe they have a, quote, flying saucer, end quote, in their possession. Soon after, the Roswell Daily Record's front page ran the headline, quote, Roswell Army Airfield captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region, end quote, where they reveal no details of, quote, the flying disc, end quote. That same day, the Air Force strangely changes their story. General Ramey orders the crash remains to be taken to him in Fort Worth, Texas, for his own personal inspection.
See, that's what's crazy. Wouldn't the guy that's like goes out and does this and then knows things that aren't natural,
press release with the
who said it was a flying object? What, like,
of Intelligence
that's who I'm
Marcel
thinking is the one
the
I'm
crash
thinking is
materials
telling
he
the truth.
misidentified.
He went out there, checked it out, and was like, hey,
see
this is
press
unidentified.
release,
We don't know
and you're
what
like,
the fuck. He would know about the other
What's going
stuff.
on? I gotta go clean this up now? Yeah. And I knew that we were, pushing our big weather balloons through that area.
Oh, and I see what you're
And
saying.
I'm like, well, they're not gonna believe me unless I bring in Carl, or whatever the guy's name.
And make him sit next to his mistake.
Bring in the weatherman, bring in the idiot rancher, and kind of rub his nose in it like a...
I think it's hilarious that the officer they sent to go assess the crash, they made him sit and pose with all the materials in the office and the pictures.
You sit here for this photograph. You know that's a weather balloon, you idiot.
The next day, on July 9th, the Roswell Daily Record runs another article with the headline, quote, harassed rancher who located saucer, sorry he told about it, end quote, in which Brazel reveals that the supposed alien wreckage was merely, quote, rubber strips, tinfoil, a rather tough paper, and sticks, end quote, and with Ramey's weather balloon explanation being corroborated by the case's key witness, the world promptly forgets about the Roswell incident for a while. Enter Stanton Friedman in 1978. Friedman was a nuclear physicist and leading UFO researcher. In 1978, Friedman interviewed Jesse Marcel, the then retired intelligence officer from the 509th, who was ordered to go assess the
I was like, I'm watching it. It's pretty current.
fully reignite the Roswell
What's up, baby?
controversy when he revealed that he still believed the wreckage was definitively not a weather balloon. Here's a quote
Marcel.
from Major Marcel in a different interview
Intelligence
regarding the
officer.
metal
I mean,
at the
come
crash
on.
site. Quote, it felt like you had nothing in your hands. It wasn't any thicker than
Diving into trying to wake Shad up.
about it that got me is that
He got a little interested last night because you don't know any conspiracies really. So we went through a bunch of them
I
tonight.
knew that I had never seen anything like that before, end quote. He goes on to say, quote, it was not anything from this earth. That I'm quite sure of.
Crazy.
Being an intelligence officer, I was familiar with just about all materials used in aircraft and or air travel. This was nothing like that. It could not have been, end quote.
That was some funky metal.
I mean, they took a sledgehammer to it.
I like
That's
the
a
sound of
funky
this
metal.
Yeah, it sounds like I want to get my hands on this metal.
I like that he's
The one
giving
we
some
watched the other day
tactile
was
descriptions here.
They
It's
do
not
different
just
stuff, but they got
something
drunk
wasn't right.
and told
It
a
would
ghost
go and
story.
shine. Yeah, he's talking
They're
about.
fucking hilarious.
He's talking about the weight of it, the
Red
feel of
flags
it.
and green flag.
I like this.
They're funny.
After this
They got a good
admission,
show.
Friedman interviewed more witnesses,
Thanks for
both
that, guys.
civilian and military, and in the end concluded that there had been a massive cover-up of the Roswell incident in 1947. A quote, Cosmic Watergate, end quote. Cover-up that allegedly includes details of the crash site, the materials, the possible spacecraft, and even alien bodies found at the scene.
Already.
And with that, let's get into the two main theories. The first theory is that the events at Roswell transpired as reported.
I don't know. Is Donald still on here? He said what's up and then he didn't respond to us.
Air Force. When you look at the physical evidence available, this appears to be what happened. Though, in 1994, the U.S. Air Force released a report admitting that there was, in fact, a cover-up. However, it wasn't a cover-up of extraterrestrials, but instead a cover-up of a top-secret military operation. The report states that the remains found on Foster Ranch in 1947 were indeed the remains of a weather balloon, but not any regular weather balloon. This balloon was part of a then top-secret program called Project Mogul. Project Mogul was conceived of by Dr. Maurice Ewing at Columbia University. He theorized that just as underwater microphones could detect sound waves produced by explosions thousands of miles away, perhaps an airborne monitoring system could do the same. Thus, as fears of nuclear war proliferated after World War II,
I wonder if something we had up wasn't letting it come through. We might have got blocked for a minute for something we were watching.
Any nuclear tests carried out by the Soviets.
Boy, that's a big explanation.
Yeah, here's the thing. If people are already on you for a cover-up, I don't think it's a good card to play.
Let's try some. Just went unavailable. He said, did it again. What the hell? What is going on? It says stream suspended for policy violations. It should try to come back up though. It's still letting people comment.
Something about policy violation. Oh no, we're onto this.
They haven't posted yet. See, they don't want us talking about certain stuff.
Mm-hmm. Put some more in your cup you want to.
Thank you, sir.
What's that? Doesn't show anything. Shows yesterday is being blocked in some territories because the songs we played. That's freaking crazy. We've just been having problems lately. We gotta quit pulling shit up on there. Special shit we should have known BuzzFeed would be a violation. I was just in the moment, bro.
What was the violation?
Probably because this is copyright.
Oh.
Yo, copyright bullshit. Let's see something. It still shows us. Why won't it reset? Well, remember, you're supposed to keep trying to get back on when there's a problem.
So I guess you can't watch other people's shit on your
She said suspicious, right? Policy violation. What the hell? I'm back? So I must have just blocked it out for a minute because I was watching. Hey, there we are. Hey, I'm sorry about that, guys. I should have known better.
Got too into
Got into the moment just now. You know?
Start diving down that rabbit hole and you forget about policies and but yeah, this is the biggest alien crash UFO conspiracy story. 1940s, Roswell, New Mexico, the Brazil Ranch. Guy that owned the ranch found the crash. They said that they sent out intelligence officer in Marcel after the sheriff decided to call his friend, who was a 4-star general. He sent out intelligence officer who does this kind of stuff for a living. The guy checked out what was there and said that it was not of this earth. He'd never seen nothing like it. The local paper prints out that military says it's a UFO crash. Well, then Air Force comes back and changes it and does an interview with the rancher with some typical weather balloon stuff. Thank you, Tia. With some weather balloon stuff, and pretty much from what I can gather, forced the rancher to say that that was what he found, because later on when he was older and closer to the end, he changed the story and back to the original story and said that he was forced to say what he said.
With wood and string.
Mm-hmm. Nope. But the military did come out later and say they lied about certain stuff and that it was actually Project Mogul, which was a way to listen for other vibrations from bombs and stuff and to kind of spy on Japan at the time. But still, that weather balloon looks nothing like what was described, which is a thin metal, almost aluminum foil, but when you bend it, it pops back in place, is what the guy said. And they tried to hit it with a sledgehammer and it did nothing. It supposedly had little markings on it that were hieroglyphic markings. And then you've got the Air Force trying to say that it was wood with Japanese writing on it. And string, like fishing string, and whatever material they use for the top of it. But yeah, we've got a few more. We don't have to necessarily pull them up and run into that problem. I can just talk about them. We just won't have a visual. Y'all get to use your imagination, guys.
Yeah. Place the scene in your mind. There's a door in front of it. Sometimes I get stuck in the basement, so you know that's kind of.
Have y'all heard of MK Ultra? It was a CIA ran project for mind control. MK Ultra. It came out later that during the 70s, I believe, they worked on it for a decade or more, several decades, and then they closed it supposedly. But there's a lot of fucked up shit. Y'all check out MK Ultra if you're interested in this kind of stuff. I'm a little worried to pull stuff up now, but there's a lot of stuff on MK Ultra. It was a government. They call it some kind of black funded, or it was funded by the CIA, but it wasn't the CIA, if that makes sense.
Offshore accounts, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, I guess. But so a lot of people they did stuff to, and it had, I want to say, it started off with hallucinogenics. And there's also programs that the CIA uses people that are psychic in cases, and a lot of times 50% of the time it actually works. There's several
documents that have been released after, they release them after so many years about mind control, MK Ultra, people with psychic abilities, people that just have what we're to believe isn't possible. It's funny that the government and the CIA would be so interested in spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on stuff that supposedly is just scary. Well, what do you call it when somebody says something's fake? Fake. Anyway, chemtrails. Who remembers seeing all these trails in the sky all the time when you were a kid?
Maybe a couple, that's it, tops.
Like, I remember the jets going by and there being like this perspiration type fog, and the jet would be like here to here. By the time he was here, that was all gone. It dissipated as he went. It just had like a little after. And now, not only does it stay behind him, but it stays in the sky for hours and hours.
Yeah.
So crazy to me. And there's documents that the government has said that chemtrails is a real thing.
Yeah.
They're also using that same kind of thing in clouds. They'll go through and drop certain things to make it more precipitation and make it rain when it's not normally going to rain. It's just crazy the stuff they work on.
Trying to play God.
Making storms.
I've never heard this. That Stephen King killed John Lennon.
Whoa.
Because I know a lot about that case, and the guy that first thing that comes up is Stephen King when I put in STEP.
I know what you said, Thea.
Good.
I knew what you meant. Colorado.
Look at Colorado. Heard. All right, so John Lennon, 1980. David Mark Chapman.
Who's that?
David Mark Chapman actually worked at Fort Chaffee for a while.
Oh, yeah?
He was the event coordinator for when the refugees were here in the 70s.
The Cubans?
It may have been Cubans in the 70s.
I think so.
He was actually the event coordinator out there for them. And he went on after he got fired from that. He was a guy that, okay, so John Lennon's walking out of his apartment. Guy walks up, gets an autograph from him. They talk. John Lennon leaves. John Lennon comes back, and the guy's still sitting there reading Catcher in the Rye. And as John walks by, the guy gets up and shoots him in the back, supposedly. That's how it happened. But yeah, Mark David Chapman. But this says...
What was that book?
Yeah, he just stayed there until the cops picked him up.
The Book of Rye.
Reading the book. Catcher in the Rye has been associated to a lot of killers. I think it tells you like how to... I've never read it. I've been scared to read it.
Me too.
I bet if you ask somebody about it, it's like, what are you going to read that book for?
So are they saying that... I think what they're saying is that Mark Chapman went on to be Stephen King, maybe. That's crazy. I never heard of that shit. That's why we're going through these, because some of them are crazy.
But if they're going through great lengths, you know, great.
You may see that bird that was sitting on a car, and
the wings flap out like the.
It's got like a radio or something. It's talking like
they
a
were
radio.
talking to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a camera in it or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's just crazy. Just imagine how many birds are real and not real, just out there recording you, swooping in, trying to hit your head. Just to I have the worst luck with fucking birds. All right, Colorado.
A bird crapped on my sister once.
I've been crapped on by a bird. It's not cool.
I told her, you got blessed. She ran it out screaming. I was laughing my ass off.
All right, Denver Airport. I'm guessing that's probably what you're talking about, Colorado. All the symbolism and the underground tunnels and areas under the airport, supposedly reptilians.
Really? Yeah, they got.
You never heard of it? Have you ever seen? Here, we're gonna look up. Let's just Google on here, because I don't think we can get in trouble for that. Let's just pull it up on Google. Get rid of YouTube for the moment. Going over here to get on the line, on the line, on the web.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Give it a moment, please. Thank you for your patience.
I'm a slow typer, y'all. I can't wait till I can afford to hire a tech person. Alright, I found it though. We're getting there. 5 wild conspiracy theories about Denver International Airport.
They have a memorial too, a Mario, Pam pictures and stuff. Yeah, creepy stuff.
Illuminati bunkers, underground tunnels, links to aliens and marketing campaigns. Has more to do with the person's society. Okay, so there's a lot of people that say it was built by the New World Order because of the symbolism attached to it.
The giant blue horse sculpture is a nod to the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse.
Okay, that's that. See the red eyes and the...
That's crazy.
We're going to pull that up, let y'all see that. If it goes off, just hang tight for a second, guys. We'll get right back to you. I'm hot. I'm getting confused. Alright, here we go. Alright, I don't know how... We can probably click on that better. What the hell? They don't want us to see that, do they?
Yeah.
I don't know how well y'all can see that. It's known locally as Blucifer. The Blue Mustang has been there since 2008. They think that it contains the Illuminati headquarters. Here are some pictures of the underground tunnels and bunkers.
Click on that, see if that goes up.
Get it out, bro.
Huh?
Hey, this artwork.
Yeah, that's.
Man, can we not get that?
No.
Open image in new tab. Aha. Alright. You see this?
That's yeah, that's the one I was.
Let's see what's going on. We got a rainbow. We got what looks like a Nazi soldier with a sword and a rifle with a bayonet. You've got what looks like children of different nations. You got a long line of people suffering over here. You've got a white dove flying at the bottom.
Looks like a broken down castle.
His sword has cut through the building.
Yep.
There's a lot of symbolism there. Alright, how do we get that? Is that it? We're gonna find another one. It said 5.
Boost.
I'm telling you, I can't wait. Just be like, so and so, you got that? Alright, pulled it up, boss. You're the man. That's why you get the big raises. Alright. Anyway, what are we doing? Denver National Airport. Pictures of crazy symbolism. Yeah, don't laugh at my typing, I'm trying.
I got a lot of. Whoa. That's hella crazy.
What the 7?
What's up?
Alright, so I want to say, what's funny to me is, okay, see this?
Yes.
That's that, whatever that symbolism was for that guy has been taken down, right?
Right.
And you've got all the people of all the nations everywhere united to take down this force. Now that's exactly what they speak about with what's going to happen with the New World Order. There's going to be an agenda that pushes us all to come together, and it's secretly going to be masterminded by the same elites that were already under their control. You see what I'm saying? This, in that last picture, just hit me with like, that's crazy.
And there's the 2 white doves sitting there.
Uh-huh. What's it say up there? Peace? Oh, it's all the different ways to say peace, probably. You got your guy with a hammer here. Look, kid with a sledgehammer. Looks like a metal glove. This kid's got a bunch of swords. Anyway, that's crazy.
But it has the Boy Scouts and holding it. See where I was holding the swords wrapped around the flag.
How do we get back? We saw this. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. If as secret as that place is, the fact that people are now able to go film there tells me that they've already got another place and had been out of that place already. Like, there's no way that if they're there still doing those kind of rituals that they're secure. I mean, these are the most elite people in the world, and you think some random Joe like me or Juju walked up in there and secretly filmed shit? That's old news. That's imposed opposition to keep y'all away from where they really moved everything to.
I would have been like, yep, they abandoned camp. They're not here, fellas.
Alright, let's see what else we got here.
Smash it all.
That's That's the one we already seen.
That's
Okay. Ah, go back.
Go ahead.
Ah.
I haven't seen this one. Wow, they got all the Nate in a box. All the.
Well, that's the little girl.
Yeah. Like a.
Who clearly looks unalive and posed.
Switzerland, maybe.
This looks like a native. Is that a leopard?
Yes. Jaguar, yeah. Leopard.
See the city back here and everything burning. The penguin is, what's that say?
The
Gray. Auk.
So, fur.
Huh. Man, like, it's just so crazy. Like, I just want to know the artist's point of view about this.
Look at deal for it. I wonder if she's like trying to take it from the best of fire.
Are they trying to save them?
I guess so.
They're like labeled and
they're
boxed in.
Mm-hmm.
Is it supposed to be like Mother Nature, maybe, or?
Maybe. It's beautiful, but.
What do y'all think? Let us know in the comments. Anybody watching later?
There's deforestation. Burning up our forests and stuff.
Like I'm doing a lot with art right now in my humanities class, and I'm lost on it. Like, it's everywhere. Like, there's so much going on. It's so, look, she's reading a map.
Looks like, yeah.
Like, is it saying this will be the start over, kind of like Noah's Ark?
Possibly.
He said he would never flood us again.
Oh, that's rain and brimstone on this one.
Shay's hilarious. She said booty cheeks. You're crazy, baby. I love your booty cheeks, though. How do we make this bigger? Make it bigger. It did nothing. I can't even see that shit, bro.
There's other spots you got here and there.
Everything I can do, and I don't know how to zoom. Oh, I got this. I got this.
See?
Yeah, thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, nephew.
What is going on here? Why I love her. America. What's that say up there? Great big cold country to the north. Like, this is artwork. Are these pictures of each place?
Or it's different.
Yeah, I can already see. Look. There's the, look at Arkansas. Oh, how do I go over it? No. No.
You're the opposite.
Not yet, baby. There ain't no tech guy. I was just saying. Nobody's paying shit. Why can't I zoom in that big? Yeah, look. It's a statue and
It looks like a statue with wings.
it's Jesus. The statue up in Eureka Springs.
Oh, yeah.
The big Jesus standing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the they do the whole play of Jesus and everything. It has the like concrete seats and all the buildings down in the, like the old style amphitheater type thing. Somebody tell me what that's called, Shay. But yeah, okay, so those are pictures of all the different places.
Is that other spots?
Yeah, like their famous spots and stuff. That's cool, actually. So I'm not tripping on that. That was, oh, what is it?
Alright, here's some symbolism.
Mason. Tokyo got me. Whoa! Hurt?
That's kind of crazy.
Why not?
Denver International Airport, Wellington E. Webb Mayor, Governor Roy R. Romer, Secretary of Transfederico Pena. The time capsule beneath this stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. So it's a time capsule, and it has that symbol for the future people. The most worshipful Grand Lodge of AF and AM of Colorado. The most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge F and AM of Colorado and jurisdiction. So it's Freemasons. That's crazy. Ah.
Whoa. Got a horse.
What is this?
Another painting.
That looks like an ark. There was something breaking through the firmament.
I wonder who was the painter who did these.
It's probably different people. We're going to look it up later, right? Okay, so you've got what looks like some kind of being. Look. Those are eyes and a mouth. It's like a spiritual entity or something. You've got a baby over here. A big newborn looking baby. And then you've got a cornstalk with a bird on top of it. You got the mountain. You've got the.
I think it's got something to do with
Okay, so right here, the yellow and the and blue and white, the way that it contrasts here, right at the face to highlight the face and everything. So I'm going to say that's something that's symbolized to come and have a rebirth of who we are. That's my opinion. And that's what's great about art, you know, you can just interpret it.
But you see these two little...
Yeah, like little...
little head people. Pac-Man.
Like coming from up here,
Floating
probably where...
Pac-Man.
This entity is crazy, though.
It looks like it's comfort. It's like it's within that mountain.
That looks like wings and...
A generator, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to look these up because this is crazy. Alright, we're going to zoom in on this one. Well, we're still in the crazy zone.
Looks like dude kicking a log to dude's nuts. What? You don't see that?
Wham!
Or, you know, he kicked it under. I don't know.
Yeah, I see it, motherfucker. That's what I'm laughing. This dude's sawing. What is that dude doing? He's kicking the log up
Or
the
he's
ladder.
bracing it, or he might be
just holding
bracing it. He
it.
might be bracing it. My bad, my mind works crazy. I don't know. Impulse.
He's holding the saw here. Oh, he's bracing himself for sawing because it has to be up on this to hold it stable for this guy. All right.
We're about to drop this beam on this dude's head.
Well, you've got the evolution here from the cowboy days of riding the horses to this industrial era where they're got steel beams over there, and over here is kind of your probably mid area. The adaptation of gross. But
It's a nice
it's cool.
piece. It's a nice piece. Got all the cool and warm colors in it.
And it looks like they're all brothers.
Could be. Or
Not brothers,
like
but-
through generations.
I mean African Americans.
Generations.
He said generation. I'm gonna show you generation. What the sound, man?
Now that's creepy. Coming out of briefcase? Oh no. Keep that briefcase.
It is coming out of a briefcase. Like your luggage.
Or
like you're going to the airport.
That's...
You're going to the airport and you're carrying your luggage, you're going on your trip and you see this. I'm kind of tripping out.
I'm not fine.
Why is a gremlin coming out of the fucking suitcase with wings and shit?
You can see that before you unpack your freaking luggage.
Like, is it supposed to be? Look, it looks like it has. It looks like it has horns and wings. That would be devil, fallen angel.
Coming at your briefcase.
Maybe a tail coming out over here. That's creepy, bro. So I just don't understand what an airport would have all this in.
That's pretty.
I get to
Getting back with Mother Nature, I guess. Like a new
I
dawn.
get to go in there and walk around.
Security agents gonna hop all over me.
Can't really tell by that picture what was going on. Like a lot of us like Spanish.
Hey baby, what do you mean what? They're dancing.
We're celebrating.
We've got antelope back. Is that antelope? Is that what those are called?
Yes.
Damn it, why won't it? I'm trying to get in.
It looks like a celebration.
Birth of a new rainbow plant down here.
That looks like a big cat. I wish I could see it better.
We're gonna be going back to where we go. Start over again.
I'm just saying, I ain't never flying in Denver. It's just crazy. We saw that one, we saw that one. What is it? That looks like a spaceship.
It's a freaking
Or a Stargate.
That's a
stair.
escalator thing.
Yeah.
It's not even down or up, it goes straight across.
It feels like a freaking ship on top.
That's nuts.
Like a fucking spaceship.
Or it looks like a face.
Like, how high were they when they designed this shit?
Whoever did it got paid a lot of money.
Oh, I'm sure. Make it as crazy as you can, too, it seems like.
Just like that horse.
Yeah, that horse is nuts.
It's like a...
That dude looks real as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see him.
That's crazy.
I didn't see his face there for a second.
There's somebody over here, too. Is he on a ledge?
I don't see the other dude. Let me see.
You're blind, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom up. See the guy right here? You see the white thing?
Kinda.
Screw up. There's a guy right here. There's his feet, his legs, his arms are out like this.
I don't see that.
I see it.
Here.
No, I'm not blind. Cause I see it.
Stand your ass up and come over here.
Oh, Lord.
See him?
Okay, I see him now.
My dude is blind.
He just looked like part of the friggin' land. Cause it's,
Yeah, he looks transparent.
What's this?
that's why I couldn't see him.
Oh, little building. See?
Yep.
If the buildings are that size, how big is this cat?
He might
And this dude's part of the earth over here.
Oh,
His
shit.
nipple has a tree on it.
Got something growing out of, coming out of
What's this
cave
down
in his
here?
stomach or something.
Something crazy down here underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's about to jump off, bro. Crazy.
It does.
Good idea, Tia. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Hey, look at this one. Oh, we saw this one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a smaller version of it.
There's that horse.
The horse. Is this there?
That means Egyptian.
That's crazy.
Or it could be the new airport for all the landings of the
Look.
co-conspirator. Now that's just freaking dumb.
That's the airport. Supposedly, I guess.
4 hangars.
Oh, we can view the site right here. Swastika-shaped runways. That's crazy.
4 runways. And I just guessed on that. I would be like, yep, no flying zone for me, buddy. We'll get another airplane somewhere else.
Surprised no one tried to take that horse down.
Yeah, like how high?
Mm-hmm.
Steal the Dooster.
What is that?
That picture where that.
No, this.
It looks like a priest or something.
It's got the.
Comb.
Looks like somebody in a gas mask, bro.
It looks like someone withered away, like someone like sucked their soul out of them or something.
Maybe.
Soul sucker.
Yeah.
Soul sucker.
Sucked them out.
Beetlejuice,
Yeah,
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Sure, yeah, shrinked up and stuff.
We
What is
haven't
this
seen
one?
that one.
Whoa.
What's that? It looks like a person putting his hands on his face.
That's that dang gargoyle hopping out of the suitcase.
Looks like he's wearing a hoodie with his hands on his
Got that hoodie.
That's what it looks like. But I bet it's not. It looks like it, but no, it's not.
You got somebody coming out of the American flag. Looks like a Native American.
3 faces.
Yeah, a bunch of people down here. A triple face here. Bro, I want to see this one. Alright, let's see if we can find it. That's nuts. Orville Redenbacher.
Is it Dick Guy?
This Dick Guy.
Dick Guy.
Big Dick Guy.
Oh, yes.
Dude looks happy to be about to do something bad. Where's that one at? That's crazy.
Wow, I'll show you.
Shad, you're always negative, homie.
I'm not negative.
They probably won't show you. You're not gonna find it.
That's negative.
I said that's all they'll show you.
No.
I didn't say you could find
Yeah,
it.
we can replay this bet.
Get him, Juju.
You know the rules.
Replay.
Go ahead. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No, you're
No,
wrong.
we'll let you know.
But if I'm right,
You're wrong.
They even got some. Ooh, yeah, they go in there.
Wow.
so everybody's wondering where the New World Order moved to now, since it's not there no more.
I guess. I think that
It's just
the
another-
fact that people are able to go there and film there, it ain't obviously a place that anybody's using, you know?
Mhm.
Not for anything really elite.
Where's that damn picture? Ooh. That's crazy. Alright, I give up. Weird sign. Oh, we got a picture. Oh my god.
Hell.
Corn on the cob.
That looked like you red corn. What the fuck? That's crazy. Already, stay away from the corn.
Stay away from Denver. No.
We ain't flying into Denver, I know that. Or maybe we should.
I want to take a picture with the horse.
Everybody stay together. Everybody stay together. Shit.
Stay away from the tunnels.
We'll hook them a nylon cord to each other. Oh, shit.
There it is. The damn corn.
So it's in Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, Denver International Airport.
There it is, right there.
This one?
Yep.
That's not the one we were just looking for, the weird one in the corner?
Yeah, yes, that's that one.
Oh, this is the
There's
long
that
one we
yeah.
were looking at.
Yeah, it is. This one that.
Yeah, the long one where they were dancing. I wanted the one where there was 3 of them. It was in the bottom corner. We couldn't really tell what it looked like. But we can see this better.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Yeah, 2 leopards.
2 of each.
And it's like
Rejoiceful.
that's marijuana, bro.
That's that rainbow ponics right there.
Yeah, bringing the world together. We got a sneaky looking wolf over here and some little wolf cubs.
So everybody's rejoicing.
Yeah.
All nations.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh man.
You did it.
If everybody wants to find Waldo, he's right here.
You see this? Yeah, the fallen soldier. This one.
No, yeah.
I want to find it. There you go.
That's crazy.
We're going to enlarge this. Thank you again, camera. You're the man, son. Don't care what Juju says about you.
I didn't say nothing like that to your nephew. You know, why you trying to get me hurt by nephew?
There's the artist.
He did.
Whoa!
Like he's.
Alright, look, you got 3 babies here reaching for a woman that's being taken away, spiritually looking, by this thing. And then something with a halo. You've got Ghostface back here.
Demon back there.
What is that?
Like a 2-faced demon.
It's crazy. Okay, you got a guy here with a bunch of books.
Wow. I know what that means, kinda.
Education.
You see the red flag with the kind of like the above the.
Right here?
Yeah.
The Nazi looking stuff?
Yeah, those kind of makes me think of Russia.
Russia, maybe.
Yeah. And then the American flag.
You've got this guy wearing the American flag. Look, he's punching the red here.
Yeah, that's probably Russia. No, there's only one red
Like,
flag.
is this like the immigrants being taken away and the kids being left?
Probably.
Remember when that was a big deal?
You got a skeleton. You got like some vampire skull right here.
You do got a couple teeth there that look vampires.
There's no way to.
They've got a bunch of flowers, bugs. This dude's coming to fight. Look. So you've got America and Mexico both punching towards this middle area that's a red looking flag. It makes you think of opposition. So they're going to use knowledge, power,
Spiritualism.
spirits,
and physical form.
building.
Yes.
And then they're going to make Grandma come out and really get
Grandma's taking everybody.
Alright, y'all. That's
She's
crazy.
gonna make you pick out your own switch.
That is nuts.
I kind of had it different.
Oh, well, you can do it.
I thought the people over there, like the Middle Easterns and stuff like that, because of all the stuff's going on, and then
Maybe.
the other side was, I don't know,
Global. On a global scale.
UN side, I guess.
But it's good artwork.
Alright, so that was crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Denver International Airport. We didn't even look at the tunnels.
But they were there. With subway.
Just wonder how far the tunnels go. What all's down there?
So I saw this clip, I guess on TikTok or something, about these hunters came across a Bigfoot. And one of the hunters opened fire.
The infamous Bigfoot.
What happened?
Well, they fired. They fired at the entity and it ran off, but the camera was too blurry, you know.
As always.
Yeah, as always.
You ever heard about the Arkansas bog monster?
I think so.
It's like a Bigfoot type. So some areas of Bigfoots are real swampy and stinky and
trolls.
Like, adapt to the area they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole movie made about it. Actual movie. It was kind of corny, B-movie, but kind of a cult movie now.
Oh yeah.
The 10 most convincing Bigfoot sightings. Alright, first we have...
Of course that one.
Yeah, this is the
The
most...
original one. First.
Like, you gotta look at...
A lot of people say it's a dude in a suit, though.
Yeah, you gotta look at the vantage point. Like how far away are they?
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard to tell. It's a good suit if it's a suit.
But then again, it could be, it could be real.
I mean, that could be shack size. 7 foot.
You've got, big old chest and everything like that, long arms, long legs.
Alright, let's check out the next one.
Not a good call.
My bad, y'all. Booty cheeks.
Have Harry Henderson's come over.
A youth group was camping in the Marble Mountain Wilderness, California, when leader Jim Mills noticed a strange-looking creature skulking along a ridge nearby. He filmed it for nearly 7 minutes, making the somewhat grainy footage the longest video of an alleged Bigfoot. Excuse me. That is definitely grainy. Definitely looks big though.
Mm-hmm. It was like that one we saw with the giant, I think, right?
On the mountain,
Yeah.
dude went missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is a mountain ridge.
Mm-hmm.
So this ain't little bitty rocks.
No.
It look like steps.
But here's the problem with this one. For me, look how skinny.
Yeah.
Like that could be a person on stilts or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this could be staged easily. Why is it so grainy?
Because it wants to be grainy.
Alright, Eric Shipton's snowy Bigfoot Yeti footprint. British explorer Eric Earl Shipton snapped this photo while trekking through the Himalayas in 1951, alleging that the footprint belonged to a Yeti. In 2014, Christie's auction house in London capitalized on the worldwide interest in Bigfoot and sold the original photo for nearly $5,000, y'all. Alright, here y'all go. I guess they made a mold of it. Why would his foot go in so far there? That's so weird, you know?
Or they had those pads or, you know.
You step in the back.
That's his left foot.
And that would be left foot. Either way, you step in the back, your foot goes down and then leaves a mark as you go out. And I guess your heel would make the kind of fold over there. Like when it broke when you raised your foot up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they recreated a footstep, it's good. It only shows 3 feet though, and one looks just like a perfect circle. And the way it comes in here just really fucks with me. I don't think it, you know, ain't that weird for a foot?
Aren't there people that do that?
Have such an indention and then come all the way back out here.
But you guys, at the conditions, maybe they adapted, you know.
People making their own tracks.
That just looks like a circle was put in there though. You know what I mean? I don't know about this one. Alright. Somebody bought it for 5 G's. Uh-oh, Independence Day Bigfoot.
Oh, shit.
Called the Independence Day film, a beast was caught in a remarkably clear video that shows an alleged adult Bigfoot walking through the woods with a cub kid in tow. The filmmaker and exact location are unknown, and many skeptics claim that there is a telling visible scene of a gorilla suit. Let's see.
It's blurry.
That, bro. That looks like a
That's
ghillie
hard to
suit
tell.
modified.
That's hard to tell.
Because it looks like pants.
It don't.
or
Yeah, it
something.
definitely looks like pants, don't it?
Yes. Looks like pants.
One of those sniper outfits.
Or
Exactly. That does not look like. I mean,
it's a Carhartt.
Up here,
Mosquito net.
yeah, like
But
something that's a full suit, like
a sniper would wear it.
the guy,
Himself.
and not a kid, but a gun he's holding probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a backpack.
And they painted it
See,
all
that
white.
just don't look natural. How far it goes out and like a backpack he's wearing. Anyway, I'm calling bullshit on this one. The Provo Canyon Bigfoot. In 2012 of October, a group of siblings hiking in Provo Canyon thought they spotted a bear in the woods and started filming. Now, when the creature stood up on two legs, the hikers ran, abruptly ending in this shaky video. A year later, the siblings launched a Kickstarter campaign to investigate other Utah Bigfoot sightings.
Regroup on that first one, didn't you?
Alright, let's zoom out.
I would have regrouped too.
Yeah, that's impossible to
tell what it is.
Yeah.
That could be anything.
Trees are in the way. It could be a bear.
Could be a bad exposure on the picture.
Could be a big old black bear.
A legendary Bigfoot. In 2007, hunter Rick Jacobs captured some of the most famous Bigfoot images to date with a camera mounted to a tree in Pennsylvania. A legendary National Forest, his camera also captured clear photos of bear cubs, offering evidence that the unidentified animal was not Yersin, but skeptics believe the animal is just a bear, sick with mange. Okay, maybe. Ate some mushrooms. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That's kind of like a cryptid. Different kind of cryptid.
But that looks like.
It definitely could be a gorilla with. I mean, a gorilla.
That's what it looks like.
A gorilla, not a bear. I just don't see a bear there.
Yeah,
Look how long the limbs are.
Yeah, they're short.
And it's got a skinny frame.
Yeah,
Definitely has some fucked up fur. What is this down here? A cub?
Maybe.
Would there be a gorilla in this area? Like, 'cause that looks like a gorilla to me.
Oh.
Jonestown, smelly Bigfoot. Locals in Jonestown, Pennsylvania were baffled by a footprint measuring 17.75 inches found near a residential home in 1980. According to the Associated Press, the footprint coincided with reports of strange noises and a strong but unusual odor in the area. My dude was stinky and had big feet.
You know what?
He had some foot jam.
But it did.
It happens. That's Juju.
Athlete's foot.
Alright, let's see this shit. Well, zoom this out.
Yeah, that's...
Alright, so his hand is literally about like my hand. So let's go. His fingers are there. There's a lot hanging over there. That's a big fucking foot, bro.
I would have ran.
And it's so fat at the top.
Yeah.
Like it's really wide foot at the top.
Or we call these with flippers, you know what I'm saying? He adapted to water streams and stuff like that. Improving his walking up the mountain. You never know.
He's got one big ass foot.
It's big and it's
Kicks you with it.
Like
you
it's huge.
know.
Like think about that. From there to there.
Like it
How
might be
big
webbed
that is?
out.
That is literally over 2 of my feet wide.
Oh, you keep with that.
Probably 2.5. That's a big foot.
Talk about a big toe.
But people have been known to fake that shit. Alright, in 1994, former U.S. Forest Patrolman Paul Freeman claimed he saw a family of Bigfoots in Washington's Blue Mountains. Now this video is shaky and grainy, but has been deemed the real deal by so-styled Bigfoot experts. Bigfoot sightings in Washington state parks are a steady source of intrigue for fans of the elusive simian. Alright, let's check it out. Looks like nothing to me. I want to see this family. Alright, let's go over and look at it. What the fuck? That's a cowboy. See the hat?
You got a long nose.
I mean, I don't see anything but a figure right here that's probably a bear. That looks like a bear to me.
Scratching his back on the tree. He had an itch.
Yeah, that's a terrible video. Alright, Mississippi resident Josh Highcliffe captured video of this potential Bigfoot while hunting on his property in 2013. Afraid to go back in the woods, he posted the footage to YouTube asking for help to identify the animal or for a prankster to come forward. I hear that, bro. He said, I ain't fucking with y'all. If y'all out here tricking me, let me know, because I'm scared. Oh, shit. That's a good picture. What? Yeah, it's so... I want somebody to do just like...
Right.
It's good to see his face.
Juju, you're gonna be the bait.
Provo Bigfoot number 2. A hiker was walking through the Utah hills near Provo Canyon in 2012 when he spotted a large animal in the woods. As he approached, the animal stood up on 2 legs and started throwing rocks at him. Supposedly a trademark behavior of Sasquatch.
That's the same Provo Canyon, right?
Yeah.
In the first...
Yeah.
2 sightings there.
Once they get... Whoa!
That does not
That's
look
a
like...
face, bro. Look at that.
That's... Yeah.
There's a tail.
Oh, shit.
Bigfoot don't have a tail. No. But what would be throwing rocks? That's just creepy, that face in there, bro.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Alright, let's look at the... Gimme. Did I put in bong? Yeah. The Falk Monster. Also known as the Boggy Creek Monster. Let's see if there's any videos on there. There we
Well,
go.
I'm definitely running from this motherfucker.
Alright, I guess we'll find out if it's okay to watch this.
Well, my friends, today we're talking about the swamp stalker of Boggy Creek, also known to some as the Southern Sasquatch.
That looks like a motherfucking gorilla.
The Fruit Monster. It has made major
Y'all
news
showed
and
us the
tracks
gorilla.
have indeed been found.
There you
It is
go.
very vicious and attacks humans. Many people have been terrified by this creature. The local legends of an ape-like creature date back to 46, when it was called the Jonesville Monster. It was based on the town where it was initially sighted at.
That was a good
It
draw.
was sighted again in the mid-70s. The creature didn't make local headlines until 71, when it was said to have attacked the home of Bobby and Elizabeth Ford. So just think, one day you're in your house, and next the Boggy Creek Monster
That
is
one looks
kicking
rich,
your
bro.
Yeah, dude.
That's a food monster.
That's an evil
was the
uncle.
inspiration for the
That's my evil uncle right there.
The Legend of Boggy Creek, directed by Charles B. Pierce, who has passed away by now though, which in turn inspired
Yeah,
additional
I'm
sightings up to the late 90s. Now 4 more films based around the Boggy Creek Monster were released between 72 and 2011.
5 movies.
Now, the Food Monster is described as a giant human-like ape creature. It has long arms, dark hair, 3 toes on each foot, and
3
great
toes.
red eyes the size of
That was
silver
what we
dollars.
saw that one footprint.
It's said to walk with a shuffling type pattern and run in a hunched or slouched position while swinging its arms like a primate wildly. Original reports from the 70s describe the creature as being over 7 to 8 feet tall, weighing over 300 plus pounds.
That's
and
just killing you, y'all.
about 3 feet wide. The creature's alleged footprints are said to measure 17 inches long and roughly about 7 inches wide. Now, the swamp monster's footprints have called into question the legitimacy of the creature for many skeptics and researchers. The prints have 3 toes, are completely unlikely the 5-toed feet of all other primates, even our traditional, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call him. Now, back in '72, there was the movie titled The Legend of Boggy Creek, which was about the rural residents who have encountered a hairy 3-toed, ape-like creature in Arkansas. And in the Animal Planet, they did their own thing of a series of lost tapes. The episode Southern Sasquatch was most likely the Boggy Creek Bigfoot, since it took place in Fuke, Arkansas. And the Bigfoot in the episode tends to have the same behavior as I have stated already. But then you have the other type of creatures. You have, the Sasquatch, you have the skunk ape. The Yeti. There's so many different types of Bigfoot creatures out there. It's unique that each state has their own. Now, the last sighting, though, of the beast of Boggy Creek was in 2017. And something else that's pretty unique is there's actually a Fuke Monster Festival. The Fuke Monster Festival, it's an annual event held in Fuke, Arkansas.
We're going.
Apparently, the purpose of the event is to bring together the local community and to share information about the Sasquatch-like creature that has been sighted in the area for over a century.
Going, bro. That's awesome.
The festival features, guided tour buses, food, vendors, and presentations by some of the top Bigfoot researchers in the field.
We're in smoke.
Very unique, as I said before, that there are so many just
I hope that they got a place where we can
various states have their own, version of it.
He's like, come to my
It's pretty unique. Have you ever heard of the Fuke Monster? What's your take on it? Could it just be a run-of-the-mill Sasquatch, or is it its own very
Stay away from me! It's just smoke.
He might interpret that as something else.
Share it with all your relatives. Tell them Bigfoot's coming to get them one night.
Bigfoot's coming to get you, bro.
It's not gonna throw me into the path of
Oh, Bigfoot.
taking my sword with me on that trip.
And we've been on for 3.5 hours. That's crazy. All right, guys. Hey, everybody watching later, thank you guys. Make sure and hit that like for us. Really help us out. Help us by sharing and getting the algorithm kicked in, getting these videos out to more people and help this community grow, guys. Other than that,